Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. Alrighty, showing the state's fake sun over the venue of the Motel 6 at 8:49 in the morning. And I showed you the state's fake sun over this same venue at 2:47 in the afternoon. This is P.O.C. 6SWA831 is on surveillance cameras inside of the 7-Eleven at 1544 East 4th Street. They're engaged in surveillance and stalking terrorism. The P.O.C. is underway while the state has its fake sun, which is direct evidence of the criminal pattern of conduct by a government. And shopping or working at a facilitating venue is no form. License plate 7AFV976. 7LZR100, 8NZL957, 8RFA992. You're going to recall at 8:49 in the morning, I am in the city of San Dimas, which is in Los Angeles County, and the state's fake sun is aiming directed light, first of all over my person. That's a molestation. And the state's fake sun is directly over that apartment building, which I capture in a still image, 6UJD271. And not only that, the ongoing documentation of the state at the same time at 8:49 a.m. And this is just giving you a real-time illustration of documenting an entity stalking with a fake sun, which is terrorism, and the conduct of a sex offender that's molesting while it's stalking, and doing so in concert with the people of the state. The state's fake sun also at that same minute right over my head while I'm in the city of Ontario, and you see the blue-eyed, white-faced, demon-possessed stalker identifying himself with the Ontario Police Department while he is terrorizing with directed light and harassing under the fake sun. This is literally a puppet of Satan who is hostile to documentation, exhibiting what is that hostility and engaging in what is a harassment by an entity while he is engaged in the P.O.C. and the fake sun is over me while I am documenting that and engaging in that terrorizing conduct, showing the demon possession that is what you are continuously witnessing by those who know exactly what I'm documenting, which is the direct evidence of a demon-possessed entity monitoring with communication devices in violation of Title 18. That's what you saw, and that was at Ontario Village at 8:49 a.m. The state's fake sun, in conflict with that, being over me in San Dimas is impossible, being over me at the Ontario Village in Ontario is impossible, and this is at 1560 East 4th Street, the Motel 6, and it's remaining. First of all, that's impossible. And also, it is here at 2:47 p.m. You always have a demon that's willing to take that prosecution. That's PZD 5816. That's a Latino male with a Texas license plate. Touching with directed light 34648B3. These are trucks at the 7-Eleven at the Motel 6 under the fake sun. Demons engaging in the ongoing pattern of conduct. The entirety of the entity, commercial, government, and otherwise, shall be prosecuted for that ongoing demented pattern of conduct, of stalking, listening to the documentation. Obstruction of justice is built into the pattern of conduct, and this is why you have what are psychopath sex offenders who are monitoring, engaging in surveillance. These are the sex offenders engaging in that conduct while I'm inside of the room, stalking with activity, while they know my panties are down, while I'm inside of a private space, while I'm nude in the shower. Everything that I am doing, that is the conduct of the sex offender that's driving by right now with that license plate under a fake sun, listening to every syllable and engaging in that pattern of conduct. All right, 5TAS343. License, let me get this license plate over here. And that's what those two males engage in, and they're doing so on behalf of the government, and that is the pattern, that is a routine pattern of conduct by the state, 8JCN 386, and that's exactly what's going to wind them up in federal prison. It's currently 8:56 a.m., and this is substantial documentation, which I captured in video, and this is on podcast, and it is, again, Sunday, December 26, 2021, making sure I read the license plates of third parties for purposes of my documentation, but this is documentation of an entire entity. This is the paper plate V9A35F of a 2016 GMC truck. And the state's fake sun is literally over the same building. Again, I can't stress that enough, but you're looking at even the bigger picture. You're talking about the state's fake sun is captured in Los Angeles County yesterday at this time and remaining 5 NOT 161. All right, and you're also looking at what is the directed light inside of the room while the fake sun is on the back side of the same property that I'm capturing it at 2:47 p.m. yesterday. HWH4732 is a New York license plate on a white Ford Fusion. 8TTK 634, 8ZAX 992. It's 8:57 a.m. 8 U.S.C 000, 7 ZBJ 192, 7 BVL 603, 8 ZEN 713. So you're recalling right now, as I am 48 hours ago driving. Well, actually, I'm remaining at the trails at San Dimas apartment complex, and then at 10:06 a.m. I captured the Glendora police. At 10:17 a.m. I am at the Shell gas station. This is all on Route 66 in the city of Glendora. And you have what is the state's fake sun that's remaining over me in the city of Ontario, all right? This is documentation that pre-existed and continues to be documented after being in Los Angeles County, which represents a grand departure from what is remaining over in the remaining over me in San Bernardino County in the city of Ontario, or the city of Fontana, or the city of Upland, wherever it is I may happen to be at, which is equally impossible conduct of that which is not the sun, it's the state's light source. NSA 5DSA, that's Arizona. 8FLH 330. You have a demon ripping off the paper plate on their car. 7XYV 874. 8RBM 988. Yeah, they took off the paper plate on their car. Everybody in relevant position at Smart and Final crossing path on the 10 freeway. 5YDR 311 at this venue is documented, engaging in the pattern of conduct. Nobody's getting away with anything. It's a government system, and the prosecution will be diligent in that regard, as you understand the conduct of malicious actors, especially a government, thinking that it could just kidnap you and silence you. That's the pattern of conduct. 6ZHL 832. While it's engaging in terrorism and stalking American citizens. 8WZN 983. 7M23312. 5WBA 979, 8EKB823, 2HIX 122, 6JJP 580. And what you're also going to remember how late the state kept its fake sun in Glendora. When I'm at the Coffee Bean, and the state was aiming its fake sun inside of that Coffee Bean where you saw I had double shadows, all right, and the state was aiming what was directed light covering the mountains, all right. That's where the state was in the city of Glendora. All right, this is clearly not the sun as I am, and the state is engaging in that routine stalking conduct. All right, not only is that confirmation of stalking with light while I'm in a different county in a different location, maintaining that central presence, maintaining that precise location with directed light, it's also an ongoing confirmation when I come back to the county where I am, and you're seeing what is the ongoing conduct of stalking with light. The state is stalking with a fake sun. 8GJV000, 7UJG944, 6TNH216, and the state tells on the people of the state, not that I need it because I documented these demons myself, but like I said, when you break down that system, while the state is engaging in the demonic activity of cycling directed light inside of the venue, they're telling on every demon in relevant position. 6TNH216, 6UTT102, 7MLJ070, 93494J1, 8TIA792, 8POA403, this demon following to the backside of the parking lot. This one, group stalking, hiding in their car, 6JJP580. I read these already. And it is currently 9:01 a.m. This one is crashed over. It's 5WBA979. And the rest of these, I don't see any license plates on them. Let me see. Five UFK750. 7DJF971. and understand the pattern of conduct. Just like you saw on video yesterday, when I'm in the city of Upland and you have the state's fake sun that is directly over me while I'm at the intersection of Foothill and Mountain Avenue, and the Upland police immediately drive up, which is called relevant positioning. At the moment that I'm capturing this video, this very compelling and direct evidence of the state stalking with a fake sun, all right? And what is this? This is making a direct contrast with it being remaining over me in the city of Glendora, which is in Los Angeles County, while I'm capturing Glendora police, etc. The state kept its fake sun in Glendora, all right, on the day prior. Yesterday, I'm in Upland, and the state is engaging in that ongoing documentation, provision of documentation of stalking with a fake sun, while I'm back in San Bernardino County, maintaining central presence over me, all right, that which is not the sun. So like I stated, understand that in the same way, while I am capturing video yesterday morning, and you see what is Upland police as I aim my camera and I'm showing you those are puppets of Satan. Those are the demons that come visibly into sight, as they are already aware of what I'm doing on a communication device, aware of every syllable that I am uttering, aware of every move that I make everywhere that I go. Right? Those are puppets of Satan, and that is law enforcement. That is the role of law enforcement. That's what they are engaged in. In the same way, I understand the Ontario police are monitoring right now. Just like I was documenting yesterday, the demons of the Ontario Fire Department sounding their sirens, with simultaneity to what I'm physically doing inside of a room with the door closed, all right? Supposedly in private. No, it's not when the government is monitoring. And that is also understood where the state is aiming directed light inside of your whatever space that you're in. You are subject to surveillance. All right, and that is the conduct of what is a sex offender and what is understanding what is terrorism in the United States, in California, where I'm documenting it. All right, it's currently 9:03 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, it is Sunday, December 26, 2021. I am still at third-party facilitating venue, the Motel 6 at 1560 East 4th Street in Ontario, California, where the state's fake sun, as I captured two videos. The state is not only present with its fake sun over the venue, which I capture. This is 8:49 a.m., and I captured at that time. I could have gone out and gotten it earlier, but I wanted you to understand the contrast, because when you see this white face, this blue-eyed demon identifying themselves as the Ontario Police Department while I'm at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, and this is literally, when I say it is a demonic entity, that's exactly what I mean. So in other words, you're looking at different faces. The people of the state, they represent different faces. But understand that this is demonic activity, so it's the identical condition of demon possession. These are all the demon possessed. And this is also why you have what is the identical utterances out of those who are ostensibly strangers to me, right, in the natural, but they're actually very familiar. It's the same demon possession that I'm confronted with. And you are also understanding this, as I was pointing out yesterday, December 25th, 2021, you have what is essentially the same utterances out of the mouth of this white-faced, blue-eyed demon in the city of Ontario that you have heard coming out of the mouth of Tracy Banks, a demon-possessed stalker whose name I know, okay, who is black in the natural. Like I said, demon possession has nothing to do with your race at all, okay? It is a condition, and it is that which you cannot physically perceive. It is that which is to be identified based on the conduct, the outward demonstration of that. And I've shown you what is relevant to understanding and identifying demon possession. And it's a very specific pattern of conduct. And it is also criminal. All right. So you're talking about what is monitoring with communication devices while this demonic activity is underway. And what demons also engage in is that which is revealing their identity as well. This unfounded hostility, these ways, I put it in air quotes, creative methods of finding ways to target. They know exactly who I am and they know exactly what I'm doing. And this is methods of harassment while they are inevitably subject to what is a prosecution and revealing their conduct, which are that of psychopaths, closeted psychopaths, but it's not closeted anymore. The fact that you are a demon, the fact that you are a stalker, the fact that you're a sex offender, the fact that you are of demon possession is on plain display now. Okay, and that's exactly what I continue to document. And so at 8:49 a.m., I am showing what is directed light, which the state is cycling inside of the room. And remember what I captured yesterday as I arrive at this venue at 2:47 p.m. The state's fake sun is over the venue. And I also capture in images what is the state aiming directed light into the room. Absolutely impossible. You even see it exclusive into the room. The shadow of the gate is aiming forward toward the door. This is all manner of understanding directed light, showing you what is the trajectory of light, showing what is not sunlight, because sunlight is not going to do that. The actual sun that is in the sky is not adjacent to any property. It's not aiming light horizontally into doorways. It would be shade, period. You're looking at all of this is what I'm capturing at 2:47. At 8:49 a.m. I step out just to make that contrast with the demon that engaged in the provision of what is documentation I'm going to prosecute the whole entity with. And speaking on behalf of the government and speaking on behalf of the demon-possessed that are the people of the state who are hostile because I am prosecuting them. And I showed these psychopaths again being sex offenders and being stalkers, and engaging in surveillance while I'm inside of this private space. That's what this is legally relevant. This is how this is legally defined. When you're in the private space, the American citizen, the ordinary target individual that's inside of a private space, and the state is aiming what is directed light. The state is stalking with what is a fake sun. The state is stalking via the audible activity of demons who are engaging in surveillance and know exactly what you're doing, both by the state acting directly, as I exemplified with the fire department, the Ontario Fire Department, and with third parties who you see in video crossing path while I'm being molested with directed light, while those psychopaths are listening to me document. All right. While I'm inside of the room, the state amplifying audible activity, you understand the significance of that while the entity is stalking with light. You are also understanding what is ongoing terrorism and the conduct of a sex offender while they're engaged in that surveillance, while you're in the private space, engaging in that same ongoing real-time, just constant, ceaseless observation of everything that you're doing, everything at all times. Okay, that is a violent sex offender that wants to sit up and listen, waiting to make any sort of loud noise, just like you're hearing. They're doing it in engineered light. They're demons. Okay, and that is a facilitating venue that I also capture on venue, the 7-Eleven at 1544 East 4th Street. And the state's engagement in what is ceaseless monitoring with the demons that are the people of the state at this facilitating venue, which is Motel 6, which is adjacent to the facilitating venue of 7-Eleven, across the street from the facilitating venue, which is that Jack in the Box, which you saw demons just patrolling around. It's called relevant positioning. All right, but that's just isolating right here. Like I said, monitoring with communication devices and the ongoing invasion of privacy by an entity that is spanning a radius. All right. And that's why I'm able to capture. And that is all that you are understanding is underway while I capture what is that directed light spanning across the wall inside of the room while the fake sun is behind the building, as I show you on video. OK. All right, so it is currently 9:09 a.m. and what the demons are doing is they are walking by and the state is showing what is enlarged sizes of their shadows. All right, this is a defeated entity, and you're talking about going to federal prison. The entity that stalks in helicopter is aiming what is directed light inside of this venue. The entity that engages in terrorizing threats and engaging in that sort of conduct while they're stalking me, all right, showing how pathetic and furious and inferior they are. That's what that's really about, because they're stalking me while they're going out of their way and cussing out. They're doing it under the fake sun. You're stalking me while you're going out of your way to express hostility. That's what that white-faced, blue-eyed demon is. That's what Tracy Banks is doing and has done and has been frequently documented doing. She's stalking and she's hostile. And this is coming out of the face of nothing but a puppet of Satan. All right. And that conduct of aiming that directed light in large shadows inside of a wall, absolutely impossible to naturally. That's all demonic. All right. It is 9:10 a.m. and that is ongoing. This is the P.O.C. All right, images taken again, still images because this is informative with regard to what are methods of directed light. And I've already documented this inside of Economy Inn and inside of Mayfair Inn, as well heavily documented inside of what was the apartment, a third-party facilitating venue that was Woodside Senior Apartments. And the state is cycling directed light across the wall. There is stationary light on the wall, and then the state is also moving. So this is layers of directed light. The state is also moving directed light across the wall. And I did take still images of that at 9:12 a.m. This is a tutorial with regard to understanding the methods of stalking with light. All right. And that's what I captured in images. I just want to document that. And this is while I'm sitting inside of the room and understand what the state is doing. It's the same thing. The demons that are the people of the state, they drive by, molest with directed light while they do so, while they're listening to me document, while they know I've captured the fake sun, and they know exactly what I'm doing. And I'm also going to prosecute them. Understand Satan knows that as well. And engaging in that intentional conduct, that's going to the prosecution. All right. You have what is my sitting in the room, the entity monitoring, engaging in surveillance, listening to my very breathing pattern, knowing exactly what I'm focusing my eyesight toward. And as I capture that directed light, engaging in more of that terrorizing conduct, that demonic conduct, that demented conduct, that abnormal conduct of cycling directed light with knowledge of what I'm doing. It's the same conduct. It's the same criminal intent. All right. That's the same demonic character. That's what I want to speak to. And that's what I want to point out as well, because that's how you're analyzing that. And that's exactly what you're going to prosecute for. When you have what are the faces of Satan in federal court, and there's no legal argument, you're going to present that documentation. And you're going to understand the mindset and the criminal intent behind that. It is currently 9:13 a.m. and that's the ongoing P.O.C. All right, it is currently 10:38 a.m. The entity engaging in what is ongoing earthquake-like activity. While you hear while I'm inside of the room, you hear the sound of sounds as though, again, you're talking about the audible activity versus what the demons are actually doing. The state engages in, like I said, playing the tape of noise. All right, playing the tape of sound of a train when there is no train on the tracks, or you are not possibly able to hear naturally the sound of the train at the distance where you're located. All right, so understand that. But what the state is doing is creating sensational activity inside of the room. This is earthquake-like conduct. You see what is the Motel 6, the concrete property, and the state is acting as though they're walking by. The sound of children talking and running by, creating earthquake in the room. Stalking in the path is housekeeping. I'm going to take an image of that right now. That is presence in the path while they're monitoring with the state, where the fake sun is over their venue, their demons, and using their form of what is relevant positioning for engaging in the ongoing terrorism and stalking and monitoring conduct. I want to document license plate 8REE285, HCFH839, in case I did not read that, but I believe I did already. This one right here, 4TAB183. Just making sure I didn't miss any license plates. But I wanted to come out and show an image of what is stalking in the path. There is no walking outside. I'm walking on it right now. There's nothing that you're doing, walking, running. This is the same exact pattern of conduct, okay? Walking on the sidewalk outside, running across the sidewalk outside of the room. That's going to create an earthquake. That's what the state is doing while they're listening to me. While you see the directed light, the state is creating large shadows on the walls, impossible light activity, while the state is engaging in ongoing activity creation. These are demons that are on the property, demons that are patrolling around the property. This is the reality. 7UJG944 is coming around from the backside, engaging in relevant positioning, pacing in a vehicle. That's a demon that is listening at the same time while engaging in that P.O.C, listening to everything that I'm stating, okay? Engaging in stalking, in other words, while you're listening to the fact that you are being documented as the stalker that you are. That's the unlawful threat. That's what the entity is going to be prosecuted for. It is currently 10:40 a.m. and I just wanted to document that. The engagement in the state's pattern of conduct. Again, this is Motel 6, armed with surveillance cameras. There's nothing but criminal conduct going on here. All right. You have what is directed light while that license plate that I already recited is moving around in the parking lot. Like I said, that's a demon and that's impossible light activity. And that is the conduct of the psychopath. It is 10:41 a.m. All right, I did capture images of what are demons that are coming out visibly engaging in what is relevant positioning while directed light is swiping across the property of the Motel 6. That includes the housekeeper, okay? There's no form. They're demons that are monitoring together, and they're engaging in this visible presence, which is, as I step out, engage in my documentation via podcast. All right, and the state's fake sun is over the venue. I showed you that. The state is aiming directed light outside of the venue while I'm outside. While I'm inside of the room, aiming it inside of the room, across the walls. All right, like I showed you this morning, and as I showed you last night, this is the ongoing criminal elements, the ongoing hallmarks. And what is speaking to hallmarks are indicative of what is demonic activity. Okay, it's not only the hallmark of federal stalking, it is federal stalking amongst the demon possessed. All right, operated by a government. That's what federal group stalking and monitoring is. So I did capture images of what is this. This is a fat, maybe perhaps a Latina. She's got orange hair. She's in the old Toyota Camry. She stops right in a relevant position to my room. This is a demon, okay? While she moves her vehicle in the parking lot, the state swipes directed light on the second floor at the top portion of the building as I'm talking to my podcast, as I'm recording. And then I capture images of what is her and the rest of the demons that are out in relevant position. This is the ongoing demonic activity. They're absolute psychopaths. And you're understanding what is terrorism by the people of the state. All they're doing is maintaining presence, and they're out acting like they're doing something else. And like I said, you're understanding what is a psychopath while they are under a fake sun and in directed light and engaging in that very visible presence in the parking lot, which she's doing nothing but parking in front of my room. All right, while she is pacing around in a vehicle, getting out, putting on something, whatever. I'm just describing the demon's conduct. It's stalking in the path. That's all that demon is doing, and she's entirely focused on me. All right, and it is the same for every other last one of them, and that's the significance of the images that I took at approximately 10:41 a.m. after I recorded this snippet of audio documentation on my podcast, speaking to the ongoing activity creation while I'm in my room cleaning it up, getting my property together, and the state is engaging in ongoing earthquake-like conduct. You're hearing the audible activity, what's supposed to be children. Nothing that you are doing when you're walking by, even running by, is going to create an earthquake. This is the ongoing pattern of conduct. This is why you know. And how do you know that? There is no reasonable doubt because the state's environment is present. The demons are stalking in the path. The demons are stalking with directed light. The state is stalking that which are demons. The government, these are demon-possessed actors that are in the position of government, okay? It's revealing a public corruption. It's stalking with a fake sun, okay? And stalking with directed light, which is also present inside of the room. It is the P.O.C. All right. So it's 10:44 a.m. and I'm uploading all of that. When I'm speaking about still images, those are all uploaded. Everything, videos and images, everything that I've documented for an entire day is not only documented on my podcast, but it is also uploaded to the Google Drive, which I upload onto my website. All right. YouTube, where I am publishing video documentation, does not have a Google Drive access. All right. That's only on my website, where on my website, I'm publishing not only my video documentation, but all of the images are accessible on that link that has the date. You know, today is December 26th. So on my website for a particular date today, December 26th, 2021, documenting the state of California engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring. And there's a button on the page and you click on that and it goes directly to the Google Drive and you can see all the images that I captured. And that is why I'm referencing but I'm also speaking on my podcast because when you're looking at the pictures, first of all, it's P.O.C. Any person whose picture I'm taking, they're automatically documented as engaging in the state's pattern of conduct, and it is the identification of a demon. Okay, their secret is out, and their criminal conduct is documented by virtue of presence. All right, period. But they're also creating activity while they're present, and they're acting in concert with the demons who are also in relevant position, including the government directly, that are present and creating activity all together. Okay, these are images that are uploaded to my Google Drive. That's my point. And as I capture that, the state is engaging in that ongoing conduct, what you saw on video, and what is continuing right now while I'm speaking at 10:46 a.m. The state is cycling directed light inside of the room. That is those. I just captured images of what are demons. Okay, that's the P.O.C. It's 10:46 a.m. Alrighty, the group stalker who I captured, this appears to be an African-American male. He's stalking in the path via room 208. And you're looking at what is a directed light, and Tracy Banks is in relevant position. They're both demons monitoring together, and you have his audible activity, whoa, 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 like he is separate and distinct from what is the ongoing pattern of conduct. And that's why you're looking at what is light that is just appearing on the ceiling, up the wall, the shadow of the gate appearing through what is shade. And it's orange concentrated light. This is the state's pattern of conduct as I'm showing you what is the remaining of the state's fake sun. And you are witnessing, and that's exactly what I'm stating, is the conduct of a psychopath who is monitoring with Tracy Banks, another psychopath, equally hostile to documentation, and engaging in, while I am documenting her criminal and psychopath demented conduct, can't come here again, like I'm breaking the law or I am the nuisance. I'm the nuisance because I'm cornering Satan, all right? And because I'm documenting that which is entirely demented. And it should be something that is entirely embarrassing as well, especially because I'm going to prosecute this demon. Monitoring with that stranger whose name I don't need to know. They are in what is direct evidence of what is directed light, and the psychopath that acts as though they are totally distinct while the state is stalking by aircraft. The state is stalking with a fake sun. The state is stalking with directed light. Okay? This is P.O.C. at Motel 6. That's what I captured on video. And it is currently 11:02 a.m. where the state's fake sun remains present at this venue over me. All right, capturing the state's fake sun over the 7-Eleven, where they are walking on the first floor and the second floor. They're patrolling. Those are demons. 3KCA 774, CTL 4295, Arizona. These are at 7-Eleven, which is sharing the same property. They're adjacent to each other. This demon that is turning right here, crossing path with a Tennessee plate 96BK14. It is currently 11:03 a.m. and I took a picture of what is the state's fake sun that's remaining. Remember, I stepped out this morning at 8 o'clock. That is documentation of a fake sun remaining over the same location, over the corner of the property. And this is also documentation of what is the state's fake sun that is over the property, as I showed you as I arrived at 2:47 p.m. And it was over the opposite corner, aiming directly into the room. The state is aiming direct light inside of the room right now. While you are capturing what is a psychopath talking about whoa, 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 like they have privacy rights. They don't. And not only that, using your camcorder, using your video camera is not against the law either. But when the government's monitoring, these demons don't have any privacy rights. Okay, the government that is monitoring has no privacy rights, and these are psychopaths operating in an alternate universe as well. All right, it is currently 11:04 a.m. It's a means of harassment and a means of trying to blame the target individual who's documenting the government that's stalking and monitoring. P.O.C. (8LGV 962-16591R1 5SLD 603 8XNM 363 7XYN111 54706X2 6ATM 854 8YWU 519 4NFN 724. And I did capture video of 7:22 a.m. I'm sorry, 11:22 a.m. And showing you what is the state's light source that remains over me while I am in the city of Ontario, driving south on, well, I'm not driving, I'm being driven south on Euclid Avenue in the city of Ontario, coming from GUATE, that's a license plate, 08730H3 7YGC 935 215 GZ handicap 8DQV086 5SJN056. While we were coming from the Motel 6 where I showed you what was the state's fake sun over the same property where it was captured 2:47 p.m. Yesterday. And you have what is the state's light source that is over that venue, coming from that venue, remaining over me en route to the street where I'm showing you at 11:22. And this is while we were driving south, centered in alignment with me. And this is 24 hours ago at 11:22 a.m. while we are headed west, coming from Vaughn's, where the state's light source was over that venue. And the entity was engaged in federal stalking in the private space, which was the restroom, 6TCA 114, and creating light activity and stalking with directed light. And you are looking at the Upland Police Department while I'm under the fake sun at Foothill and Mountain at the same time 24 hours ago. That's what I'm documenting on video right now, where the state is following from that venue of Motel 6, where the light source, which is not the sun, will not be present anywhere possibly over the 1560 East Holt. You can let me off in the parking lot. 1560 East 4th Street in Ontario. All right, that's stalking with a light source. And right now, the state's fake sun is over the B&G Plaza, where you're listening to me. I'm being dropped off, and I'm subject to the ongoing federal stalking, demonic activity, terrorism, and sexual violence while you're being molested with what is directed light, an instrument of criminal conduct by demons whose name you do not know and demons whose name you do know. All right, that's what I'm documenting. All of them equally psychopaths, posing a terrorizing threat while they're monitoring with the government together, with knowledge of the fact that you're documenting it, showing a criminal determination to engage in that system, while also engaging in what is obstruction of justice, trying to engage in some method of what is harassment while trying to blame the target individual. That's essentially what Tracy Banks does on a constant basis. It is entirely pathetic. And this is while she is monitoring. And that's just the operation of Satan. Let me show you the fake sun at B&G Plaza. All right, capturing video of the federal group stalking and monitoring while demons surround, including namely Tracy Banks. And what is so relevant is her audible activity, as I have documented it on podcast systematically, while that dangerous psychopath who is a stalker, and her condition is no longer a secret, 85869E3, stalking with audible activity inside of B&G Plaza and then crossing path inside of B&G Plaza as I approach Shiro's Liquor. And her audible activity, which you have heard, and this is why I like to put Satan to the test, because Satan loses, okay? And Satan loses bad. Satan loses very badly. Excuse my grammar, but I am expressing a sentiment. And sometimes in order to effectively do that, you can, in my opinion, you can deviate from what is proper grammar, which I know both. Anyway, like I said, the state's fake sun is over the B&G Plaza, and as I've documented early in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, recall my documentation, I'm here at 7:30 in the morning, the state's fake sun is over me, remaining for the duration of the day. All right. As I showed you on November 27th, I believe, 2021, I remained at B&G Plaza for the duration of the day. I would never be able to capture it over what is Motel 6, 1560 East 4th Street. All right. But you're also understanding what is stalking with light and that which is not the sun, as it remains central over my head as I am coming from that route. You're looking at also what is directed light, a wealth of documentation, prosecuting the people of the state who are already there. There is no legal argument. They are cornered by the documentation, by the evidence of showing what is federal group stalking monitoring. What is federal group stalking and monitoring? It's terrorism. The government is targeting those who are not of that condition, which is demon possession. This is a demonic system, and this is why you have demons such as this one crossing path, while the state wants to create directed light, stalking on the back street, just choosing the second to come and cross path visibly. This is Satan in operation, working through the group stalker with license plate 8TFX457. All right. Hello. It is currently 11:31 a.m. and this is P.O.C. and I did capture video of the state's fake son. Go on ahead, Satan. Of the state's fake son over me at that venue, and then following en route to B&G Plaza. Whereas at this time, where am I? 48 hours ago, I'm in the city of Glendora. And I'm documenting the state's fake son as I'm in that city. That's mutually exclusive. You are understanding what is also, again, that ongoing documentation as where I'm remaining in Ontario. That is also, while I'm in Glendora, that is helping you understand what I'm documenting day in and day out in Ontario. Because that's not the sun, which you know while I stay in Ontario. But then when I go to Glendora, oh, you definitely know. You don't have any reasonable question with regard to what I'm revealing, okay? And I'm showing you what is a hovering light source over group stalkers in Memphis, Tennessee, because that's exactly what they are. They're group stalkers who engaged in a killing, and they provided that public information because this public corruption is occurring in plain sight because you're not supposed to know about what is a fake sun, and that's exactly what it is. Okay, and I'm speaking to what is November 17, 2021, the killing of the African-American male. His name is Young Dolph, he goes by. You know, I'm just referencing that for purposes of what is documentation of where the state was keeping its fake son on November 17th in conformity to long-term documentation. And you're looking at what is the hovering light source that's clearly over them as you see the light activity. It's the same light activity I'm showing you here. And I'm also showing you what is a hovering light source that is not the sun. And I'm also showing you what is directed light, which I also pointed out to you in the videos where those minions are engaging in what is reporting the news, where they're engaging in some sort of investigation and reporting facts as they learn them. It's public corruption. The entity is monitoring together. That entity engaged in killing together. And let me be clear, those demons of the police department, those demons of the newscast organization, those demons that are the people of the state engaging in celebrating, they all know what happened. It's public corruption. All right? These demons are acting together. So you're talking about what is a demonic entity that's engaging in what's supposed to be free life, free society in the United States of America. And that is a fallacy. It's a fallacy. All right, that was a killing that occurred while the P.O.C. was underway. All right, and the P.O.C. was definitely underway because you only have one sun, and you have what's the light source hovering over me while I'm going from Ontario to Fontana. All right, so like I said, how is that relevant today? Because it's ongoing cumulative documentation. That's another vantage point where you are understanding what is stalking with light and what is clearly not the sun. Remaining over me at B&G Plaza is mutually exclusive to ever being present over the Motel 6 at 1560 East 4th Street, let alone anywhere over the sky space in Glendora. And that is the asininity that I have been describing for a prolonged period while the state was providing that ongoing direct evidence against itself and its demon-possessed partner, the people of the state. One group, stalking together, terrorizing, sexually violating, stealing, kidnapping, criminally defaming together. Okay? It is currently 11:34 a.m. and that's exactly what I captured, the state's fake sun over this venue of B&G Plaza following from the Motel 6. All of it impossible to coexist where I'm in the city of Upland. I'm remaining at the Mountain Green shopping center yesterday. I'm showing you what is the Upland Police, the puppets of Satan. To be stripped of those positions, they're a threat to the public. They're engaging in this satanic targeting system with the people of the state sitting in that vehicle while I'm at the intersection of Mountain and Foothill. And you see the fake sun over me at 11:22 a.m. This is a grand departure while I'm showing you what is the state stalking with a fake sun step by step by step everywhere that I'm going. It is currently 11:35 a.m. at Shiro's Liquor inside of the B&G Plaza where the state's fake sun remains. This is P.O.C. Let me get these 8 WWV 258 and 7 BBJ 372, 5 SGR 336. Frontier Airlines, engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, a demon-possessed airplane pilot stalking in the sky using a commercial airline plane, any passengers on that plane, while that company, identified as Frontier, is engaging in interstate commerce. Federal stalking is underway. Also, terrorism is underway, and they're flying over me, hovering over the B&G Plaza under the fake sun. 24 hours ago, it's remaining over me at Mountain Green in Upland, okay? 48 hours ago, I remain in Glendora, where the state was keeping its fake sun over me out there, which, again, at 11:46 a.m., I'm still inside of Walmart, where I step out at 12:33, and I show you the fake sun over that Walmart in Glendora, which is Los Angeles County. This is P.O.C. That is Frontier Airlines acting as the people of the state with the government, engaging in terrorism and what is federal stalking, engaged in interstate commerce. Those are the companies that are flying airplanes engaging in the state's P.O.C. It's 11:46 a.m. right now. I documented that on video. 8RNX991, 8NUC113. 6FMA298, 8WGB422, 5HBL909, 7RZT. I can't really see the rest of it. You can scratch that. I'm still at B&G Plaza, and that's where I captured that video of Frontier stalking in the path under the fake sun. 7PTY 986, 7JCG 878. Seven ATT 109, I believe. 6 BTC 299. It's 11:47 a.m. Also, what are you going to understand? The ongoing consistent analysis with stalking with a fake sun. Understanding what that is. The state is suggesting that the actual sun, which it is not, is remaining over, because that's what you're comparing it to, while the state is stalking with a fake sun. 34566. B1, that's a demon that wants to cross paths, trying to distract from my documentation, and they're getting documented while doing so. The state is suggesting the state's fake sun is remaining over this B&G Plaza from 7:30 and 7:31 in the morning, like I documented on video. License 8XGB053. Monitoring with what appears to be a teenager in the passenger seat. License 7NHZ608. And the state is present with its fake sun. But I already showed you that when I stayed for literally the whole day at B&G Plaza. And that was a day after Thanksgiving, where the state kept its fake sun over this address, south of where I'm sitting on the bus bench. So I turn around, I face my body toward the fake sun, which is, I'm facing south. 8PHY318 in order to capture that video of the state remaining all day long over the B&G Plaza. 8TTJ668, if I can't really see that one. 8PJF784. BK84V75, that's a paper plate. But then you have what is the state's fake sun over the Motel 6. Not only in the morning, but in the afternoon yesterday at 2:47 p.m. Set 5YEJ575. All right, and a grand departure from that, being over B&G Plaza, how's that the sun that's going to be anywhere near over the sky space, aiming into the room 207 where I'm at, replete with directed light, okay? Over that 1560 East 4th Street. All right, that's the state stalking with the fake sun. The entity is monitoring with communication devices 31154P1, I believe. That is 11:49 a.m. pulling out of the B&G Plaza driveway onto Holt Boulevard, driving west. A whole pack of demons in this vehicle, 8HUN352. $5DUW 587, 7JKN 325. And I want to be clear, let me point something out to you. Everything that this African American male is saying while he is stalking and monitoring with the state that's flying in the background in a commercial airline plane, that is placing its fake sun over that Motel 6, and directed light is on the ceiling, okay? On the ceiling in the room. And what do you hear? Hey, hey, hey. Understand what that is. It's audible activity. He is monitoring. It's a demon. All right? And nonetheless, you are talking about what is absolutely no excuse from prosecution. That face is representing what is relevant positioning, while all of the evidence surrounds that demon. Okay, you're gonna have the psychopath. I don't know who is Erica. Oh, she's crazy. I don't know what you're talking. I don't even have a phone. You're prosecuting by that ongoing environment. But this is how the malicious system appears. That's how it operates. And you have cornered Satan with evidence. Period. Just like any other criminal case. 7 BOF 646. But it is unprecedented because it's the state, the government's criminal conduct, and the people of the state, their criminal conduct. All right, this is what is in operation in the United States of America, and it's called terrorism. 8XWV374, because but for documentation, understand the audible activity coming out of that demon's mouth in directed light under a fake sun while in relevant position is that which demons rely on. 6LBM 849, because you have what is just a whole bunch of minions that parrot the same audible activity. Denial, feigning ignorance while they're stalking you. 7YGT025, engaging in harassment, engaging in what is all manner of targeting you while outwardly conducting themselves, which actually they're not outwardly conducting themselves as though they're doing something else. What they're doing is understanding what a demon is doing. While they're outwardly engaging in mowing the lawn, for example, they're doing it in a relevant position, creating audible activity under what is the fake sun and or directed light. All right, in relevant position. They're doing it in your face. You're just understanding what it is that they're doing. A demon wants you to focus on the task at hand, the method, in other words, of their activity creation and stalking in the path, which is not what you're focusing on. You're focusing on the elements. That's what the demons are doing. 6ZBY 852. Ontario police crossing path via the ambulance vehicle. 6WZC 281, 6JYX 114. And that ambulance vehicle, 1159426. That's the state acting directly under the fake sun at 11:52 a.m. driving east on Hope Boulevard. Going to their state facilitating venue, which is the Ontario Fire Department, which is in relevant position, by the way. That's the state facilitating venue. They are monitoring at that venue right now, also monitoring while they cross path under the fake sun. Engaged in monitoring inside of the private space while those demons were using their sirens repeatedly while I was making the most minute movements inside of a private space, which is that motel room, which the fake sun and directed light remained inside of. 7VEX 656. The Ontario Fire Department, demon possessed and violent sex offenders. All right, engaging in federal stalking. Criminal facilitation of federal stalking as well. Brink security crossing path. C5K48528, 5VAN 476, 5KMP879, 7MEV709. Oh, here's Omnitrans. This is bus number 1328. It is currently 11:54. Molesting with directed light. License 1404972. Let me be clear. Omnitrans arriving at 11:54 a.m. Demons that are intentionally blocking the path of Omnitrans to be seen coming from a distance. Let me document them. License plate 79573R1. And Andy's Burgers is the form. They don't have any form. They're monitoring. License 8HSM072 7P. Oh, now they're hurrying up, getting out the way. 7PDZ415-25442D3, 7VCD632, 6RXU956, 7X52910, 4CDE489, 8ETT280. 6ZSP738. It's currently 11:55 a.m. License plates. Washington C41504X. And again, that is Route 61 arriving at 11:54 a.m. engaging in the P.O.C. 8XPY 103. 7B 75916. 7B 57916. 13575Z1, I believe. Can't really see that one though. 7V 49276. 5NQE 259. 7SPN 781. 6TBS 326, I believe. Can't really see that one. 7PLK 068. And it's 11:56 a.m. Everything that these demons are doing is intentional, and you know that by the fake sin. I'm pointing out what was the intentional blockage of the ability to see omnitrans approaching. All right. Everything that they're engaging in is futile. All right. They're interested also in blocking the ability. Omnitrans is a criminal representing the people of the state, but they are literally engaging in criminal conduct using a bus line, and they change their signage. They appear out of nowhere. And how do you engage that? You can have, for example, I'm going to just make up a bus route. Make up a bus route for, let's say, Route 57 that drives on a totally different street, but maybe there's an intersecting street. They'll have, for purposes of crossing path, change the signage to no service or not in service, or change it to Route 61 to engage in crossing the path. That is an illustration of the conduct that they engage in. And blocking the passage, the site in order to see omnitrans approaching is deliberate conduct as well. It's futile, but I'm documenting it. These are demons that are acting together. (7X 53917) 6J RY 579, 7HFB 659, C5 04321, looks like Washington, 4X 29415, 5TDA 477, 8LWV 459, 8PMR 339. License plate 7C87653. It's 11:58 a.m. WYR 397, 7YNL 651, 7WV. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. It is 11:59 a.m. 8HMP 663. BU7 9F27, that's paper. 7VCD 553. That's a state stalking via commercial airline plane over the B&G Plaza, 11:59 a.m. And that is the group stalker, which is, let's see, Southwest Airlines. License plates. 8VZD 849, BU39T63 paper, 7HNO, I can't really see that one, 7KOB 339, 7YIL116, 3UBT 44, I can't really see that one, 7RRL 381, it's 12 p.m. on the dot, 6YFT 131. This is 6FEC 946. Seven VCA 331. 4 RPG 984. 8 XXE 798. U219MO 6ENE 272. The Demons packed in 4K YV009 7RRK 276. Eight RZD 752. It's 12:01. 12:01 p.m. Alright, 12:33 p.m. I did capture video of what is the state remaining with its light source at the B&G Plaza. At 12:33 p.m. I am drawing that contrast to what you were looking at while I am in Los Angeles County at the Walmart in Glendora. And the state's light source is nowhere possible being over. Clearly, this is not the sun. This is the ongoing consistent analysis. If that was the sun over the Glendora Walmart, which it's not, the state's fake sun is remaining in San Bernardino County over me at whatever particular venue I happen to be at, including the Ovid Family Community Library, 5H44410. That's a license plate. And you have what is the state keeping its fake sun over me at the B&G Plaza while I'm documenting what is crossing a path by both third parties in commercial airline planes and the people of the state that are crossing a path all around me. And that's what I captured on video before I got on the bus, which is Omnitrans bus number 2347, who arrives molesting with directed light while the fake sun is present. And I am on that bus right now. And this bus is going what is eastbound on Holt Boulevard, and the state's fake sun is moving in tow. All right. It is currently 12:40 p.m. and that is the ongoing P.O.C. License plate 8WSY 832. We are at Grove and Holt Boulevard. 5H44140 is the correct license plate. 5YQX556 7KXK476.
Please use rear doors.
At 1191 East Holt Boulevard, which is Prime Wash at Grove and Holt. 35217D3. RRC 051. D, it's towing, crossing path as well. They are headed west on Holt Boulevard at Grove and Holt at 12:41 p.m. 3WUU 257, 5PCS 389, 8MNJ 018, 6MMD 195, I believe. And the bus driver is an African-American male. He is using the bus as a means of stalking with audible activity and directed light on the ground while he makes any move. He's because I turn on my my phone, which is has an electronic bus pass on it. So as I turn it on, as I turn off my Wi-Fi, power it off, this demon that is driving the bus is using the bus as a means of audible activity. That very method of activity creation, or lowering down the bus, which creates beeping noise, any method of activity creation, and that is ongoing terrorism while the entity engages in such conduct. 803-971, substantially similar, crossing path. Directed light is on the bus, moving on the bus, just like I showed you inside of the motel room of Motel 6. It is the exact same pattern of conduct on what is nothing other than a venue. And this is the bus that is Omnitrans. License 8TBU347.
If possible, please use rear doors.
It is currently, by the way, we are at State Facilitating Venue of the United States Post Office. And you have a group stalker maintaining presence in the path, the parking lot side of that post office. They are stalking while the 7EYE687 is also going to that venue. Walmart is crossing path while directed light is aimed inside the bus. So while the bus stops, you have a group stalker that's in the parking lot of the post office for purposes of stalking in the path, crossing path. All right, that's what they're doing. And it is currently 12:43 p.m. 67142M2.
Vineyard Avenue.
P956720 is the Indiana plate on the Walmart vehicle. This is a large truck being carried by, this is being carried by Walmart Transportation LLC, US.063585. That's a demon driving that. 3EB503 is the front plate. And while Walmart crosses path, engaging in P.O.C, directed light on the bus. Understand, Walmart is also facilitating venue in Glendora, where the state's fake sun was over that venue. 7AUD9288TB, I read that one already, 67142M2. These are the group stalkers at Holt and Vineyard. While the bus is going east on Holt, turning onto what is Vineyard now, going toward the Ontario airport. The state's fake sun, as I showed you at 12:33 in Glendora, remained over me in Glendora, as I showed you while I was in the parking lot at 12:36 p.m., as I showed you as I took still images while reading license plates on my podcast, the fake sun that was at the back of that parking lot. The state kept its fake sun in that city over me, as I showed in my documentation, and the state is keeping its fake sun in Ontario, moving toward what is the city of Fontana, 8SVZ736. And revealing what is stalking with the light source at fake sun, okay? Which is remaining in the window of the bus, directed light on the bus, and the people of the state are patrolling all around. It is currently 12:45 p.m. Seven VZW 493, 6MVC 193, I believe. 7 REJ 621. That's a demon engaging in audible activity creation while she's stalking at the bus stop. BT50K74, that's paper. 8WLG198. 8UIT. I can't really say that one. 6UKE665. 23238G3. 7XTE163. 03852G2. 8ZGZ. I can't see that one. 6YMY662. That's the ice cream truck. 376068. All right, 37. I can't see that one. You can scratch that one. That's the ice cream truck though. 8LQR. You can scratch that one. 7PTM076. It's 12:03 p.m. 7TXN 747. 7WDY 339, but I can't see that whole plate. You can scratch that one. Can't see the last three characters fully. License plate 5VRK 713. $8K BD 373. That's Union Pacific. $50178G3. 8UUE716 01802M2. 8XDC637. 7CWC886 0526 5X1. 6YMF198. 8VKR664. 6LGY440. JMF Trucking. 4SX6197 is the back license plate on that truck. 8CDS565. 6WKJ037. 8PWJ053. Bell Cab 82524K2. 7M14293. 8HNP501, 7VBJ084, 7BMX918, 7FJL680, 6UFH924, 86325A2, I believe. License 72268E3, Frito-Lay. Six VRP 586, 8 WRY 460. Eight JRL 837 7. I can't say that one. 8. Can't see that one either. 8CGT 479. Eight ARE 552, monitoring with Union Pacific. License plate 8YMT6752112, 1D3, 5GMS 227. Eight 8369J2, 5R. I can't see that one. 7CFM005. 8LNJ026, 6UZM025. It's 12:07 p.m. Eight FYV183, 7PWU879. 7VAJ 723, 7SQH 437, 8BEA 982, 8SXW 499, 7KRP 928. It's 12:08 p.m. All right, these demons at B&G Plaza stalking behind me in the parking lot. That's 6GOY958, starting their ignition as I make a new move. 6GQY, 6ZSP738, 7ZDZ684, 6PWN 888, 6RDE770. Eight TPE 727, 7UIM 252, ME4BREE 7MGH 485, 26004G2, 8TPZ 270, 7FUZ 114, 8VYK 501, 6PSP 793, 8EKE 545. Six WDC 416. Eight SAL 969. 6 ZAZ 516. 8 CJZ 177. 8 6569. I can't really see that one. Could scratch that one. 7Z XM660. It is currently 12:10 p.m. That's a demon creating audible activity while they're crossing path. It's analogous to Union Pacific or Southwest Airlines, Frontier Airlines, fill in the blank. It's noise and engineered light. License plate. An absolute psychopath. License 7RDS 594. YKF 1, I can't see the rest of that one. 8PTS 106. 8ULT 115. 8T, I can't see that one. 8YUG. Scratch that one, I can't see that. BT9 1D51 paper. 7K EA 304. 8Y19522. Pepe is towing. PEPE 24. I can't really see that one though. That's Pepe is towing. Crossing path. 8KQH 229. 8UIH. Can't see the rest of that one. 7ETH 426. And 8MQM 580 loitering at the B&G Plaza. 7AJR 954 08032L1 7WJF 673. It's currently 12:12 p.m. BK97206 8Key GN 526 8VJD 577 8MHU 529. These are leaving B&G Plaza. 8SNM 505. Seven ZTU 751. License 8VZP 800. 6SBL 660. That is Union Pacific again. While I'm at the B&G Plaza, which you cannot hear anywhere at the north end of what is Fern Avenue and G Street. This is the ongoing maintenance of an environment. It's audible activity, nonetheless, and engineered light under a fake sun. Union Pacific represents a third party, the people of the state engaging in interstate commerce while they're engaging in what is, in other words, interstate stalking with the government. And these minions whose license plate I'm reading in relevant position. License 8WNK 595. It's 12:14 p.m. Six 66224G2. 7UUE 541, 8DIW 180, 8HV 166, 8. I can't see that one. It's currently 12:14 still. 12:14 p.m. Eight KXV 856. Seven AFD 023. 7 TPA 418. 6LWF 754. 8T YK 156. 6RXU 956. 8FNG971 339 1B3, but I can't see that whole plate. They're leaving out of B&G Plaza right now at 12:16 p.m. 8XBZ236. Seven SOH973 7CBX 590 8RBR771 8NLG 374 8WW. I can't really see that one. It is currently 12:17 p.m. 8WVZ046 8RTD486 7TYB631 8C. I can't really see that one. 8NSJ103 7GAW209 7ESJ030 7VYY369 8JWY716 8WHP207. That's a demon. It's audible activity. 6659S. I can't answer that one. 5TUW981 8VUS. I can't see that one. 7ZDY691. And they're leaving now 4CDE489. Stalking with Andy's Burgers. License 7DXE732. 3539. I can't see that one. It is 12:19 p.m. Omnitrans crossing path going west on Holt Boulevard, 8YED254. They are at Lemon and Holt. Eight AYP141 7VCH 745. 8JGH446. Omnitrans that's loitering at Lemon and Holt is bus number 2359 at 12:20 p.m. Four PWP 777, 6 PVN 736. It's 12:21 p.m. License plate 7SLM893. And it's 12:21 where Omnitrans bus 2359 is proceeding west on Holt Boulevard. 8WXM 728. Six RLU 906, 6SCX 523, 5MXA 478, 8FBN 612, 7VCD 632, 6RLU 906. 8KUJ 335, 8UKX 518, 8LEJ 996, 7TWS 693, 5CLN 337, 8UVC 726, 7TLW 431, 6AJD 455, 6NLC 971, 5PTU 102, 22086P1, 8UPE 963, HLPTAX 4VJA 980. It's 12:22 p.m. KCN 492, 7HDR 042. 40912C1, 5HMC 991, BU 48N17 paper 29509G3, 8SCZ 67L, 8SWM 993, 7FOS 560. Best Way Sandwiches, license 8L27907, 8LFY031, 90477E1. 6NPX 711, 6ZWV 826, 5LPJ 444, 12:24 p.m. 8XGB671 VLLEGAZ, 8MBU759, 5 I can't see that one. KTSKOOP 8EMJ657. This is Omnitrans 1404 973. This minion's just remaining at the bus stop, not getting on the bus. She's loitering in relevant position. No molestation with directed light right now. The state is engaging in light activity, shining and darkening its fake sun. It's 12:25 p.m. 6UXN277, 7RMX923, 36743L1. Understand that directed light is never naturally occurring anyway, okay? But I do want to be clear, the state is engaging in light activity. It's almost like you think of a keyboard as you press keys on a piano or on a keyboard. This is what the state is doing with this directed light across Holt Boulevard. It's covering up with shade, and this is supposed to be under the guise of a cloudy day. This is a state is stalking with a fake sun, and this is directed light. So the state is keeping it on one portion of the street, and then like a keyboard, the light is appearing, moving down the street, appearing and disappearing, okay? And I want to document that is omnitrans, that is present at 1225, in the absence of that molestation, where it is never naturally occurring anyway. That's the state's engineered light coexisting with what is crossing the path, while the state is shining its directed light. All right, the state's fixed sun remains present, omnitrans crossing path, but no specific molestation via directed light while that vehicle is driving by. So I want to specifically document that. TNZ684, 8YRT972, 6YHD622, 6FLB 395, 7TDH648, 8EEY271, 7CKN919, 7SQH 482. It's currently 12:27 p.m. 6FYR 398, 8NQE912. 8HSN 434. VXK 3954, I believe, and that looks like a different looking license plate. 5Y. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. 8B78249. 5XIT023, 7XRE685, 5769, 7B2. All right, the state is maintaining noise over me. It sounds like rocks hitting the top of the bus top hood where I'm sitting under. It's audible activity. It's stalking with noise. 7GET940. That is documentation of what is terrorism. That's what the state's pattern of conduct. It's sounding like rocks are hitting it. It does it as I make an emote. 7WPF371. 44646E3. That is a black and white VW leaving out of B&G Plaza with no plate on the front and a darkened plate on the back. And they're exiting B&G Plaza at 12:29 p.m. License plates. 6D TY. Can't see that one. 12091L2. 11425Z2. 8CXS422, 8KIM083, 6EMH 582, 4LTA131, 34098L2, 7END642. So the state is just engaging in repeated sounds of rocks dropping on the bus port hood now as I'm documenting what it has been engaged in, and I've already pointed out. It is that which is noise, which is inexplicable noise, right? It's not moving, there's no earthquake, and there are not rocks dropping on it. The state is stalking with noise. And the demon that listens to me document it engages in more of the same as I document it. It's audible activity and engineered light. A demon that is stalking my every minor move, a psychopath. License plate. 8MLY444, 8HJC532. 8TMK268, 8ROP709, CA18E85 paper. And that is the state sounding plane activity at 12:30 p.m. 6R MX540, I believe. And that is Group Stalker Southwest Airlines. That is Southwest Airlines at 12:31 p.m. License plate C41504X. That's the Washington plate. Been loitering, stalking with Andy's Burgers, monitoring together. Ordering food is no form. Engaging in surveillance, stalking, terrorism on the run. License 8UMH378, 8TRP182, 8EIV. I can't really see that one. 7DFA. You can scratch that one. 55931V1, I believe. License 7YBN. I can't see that one either. 5MFP959. 8JRP954, 8THC553. Exiting B&G Plaza at 12:32 p.m. License plate 8FD3341, 7JXS305, 8XTF910, 6EWU637, 5844140. Showing you what is the image of a group stalker stalking in the path on the sidewalk, and then they cross path on their bike. They've been engaging in surveillance, stalking on the sidewalk in front of Andy's Burgers in relevant position, monitoring for a prolonged period. I did take an image of that group stalker. It is 12:33 p.m. At the Ontario airport, where the state's fake sign is over the venue. I did capture video at 12:47 p.m. showing what is the fake sign and directed light on the bus. And you're also listening to on the video that I just captured, showing what is clearly the fake sun remaining in position with me as I leave B&G Plaza, in conflict with being anywhere in the sky space of Glendora over me. All right, that's what is stalking with a fake sun, not the actual sun, hovering over me and moving as I move. The third party that is driving the bus, this is the demon, honks the horn as I touch the screen to recite the time. He uses the horn as a means of audible activity. I did capture this video of the state's fake sun over the Ontario airport at 12:47 p.m. It is currently 12:48 p.m. And this is P.O.C. License AL8A8K. License 25304F3, 8EBP651. Group stalking at the Ontario airport, a state facilitating venue. Alrighty, Southwest Airlines engaging in Frontier Airlines using nothing other than airplanes coming from Ontario Airport, wherever they are coming from. Ontario Airport is a facilitating venue. The entirety of this venue is monitoring, and the airplanes, this entity engaging in what is interstate commerce while federal stalking is underway, okay? It is currently 12:48 p.m. right now. This is P.O.C. And I did capture images of what is a group stalker engaging in the P.O.C. as it operates on the bus. Stalking with audible activity, the bus stops, all right, opening up the door, swiping with directed light and possible light activity. What's the inverse of that? While I'm sitting at the bus stop and Omnitrans is molesting with directed light, which this is the directed light occurring on the bus as opposed to across my person while I'm not on the bus and Omnitrans is crossing path. I'm capturing images of that group stalker that's getting on the bus, engaging in the P.O.C. with Omnitrans, representing the people of the state, the sexual violence, while also the state's fake sun is remaining in the window as I'm traveling from B&G Plaza to the Fontana Metrolink train station, which I also documented via video. I am currently at the intersection of what is Orange Way and Sierra Avenue at 1:33 p.m. where the state's fake sun is over me on the bus. As I captured on video, I captured the state's fake sun, which is over the Ontario airport in real-time motion. And you're also recalling what is the state keeping its fake sun in Los Angeles County, which is west of San Bernardino County, as the state today engaging in moving its fake sun to remain over me as I am traveling east to Fontana, which is east of Ontario, which is east of Los Angeles County in Glendora, where the state maintained its fake sun over me 48 hours ago, as I showed. It is currently 1:34 p.m. and this is P.O.C. Now arriving at the Fontana Metrolink train station at 1:34 on bus 2347. 968 1420027. 1479148. These are license plates of Omnitrans buses that are in relevant position, creating light activity under the fake sun, where the Fontana Metrolink train station is underneath what is the fake sun. All right. It is currently, like I said, 1:34 p.m. 1409. I'm sorry, 1404973. That's bus 1329, Route 61. This is P.O.C. And that is license plate 1545817. Directed light now outside as I'm outside of the bus. Directed light swiping across me while this group stalker closes the bus. That is also directed light that's occurring on the inside of the bus while they open the doors. Impossible light activity, and also the impossible presence of what is a light source. That's the fake sun remaining over me as I travel east to the city of Fontana. It is currently, like I said, 1:35 p.m. at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and I took a picture of what is the fake sun right over my head as I am at the Fontana Metrolink train station, and I'm being subject to a molestation with directed light while the bus driver uses the door as a means of touching with directed light while I'm under that fake sun. That is Omnitrans, the sex offender, engaging in terrorism. That's federal group stalking and monitoring. It is 1:36 p.m. P.O.C. All right, license plate 4U24165. License plate 8TRX920. Crossing path on Orange Way. I'm at Sierra. Omnitrans is loitering in relevant position. You have a group stalker manning the path as I'm walking on the sidewalk where the fake sun is moved from where I was standing in front of the bus. This is the old white man stalking in the path. A group stalker in the vehicle on the opposite side at the third-party facilitating venue, the Village at Sierra, in a vehicle. This is surveillance, and this is tracking your every move. And you have group stalkers that are on the grounds of the Metrolink with their communication devices, playing music. It's all means of relevant positioning, audible activity creation, while the state moves the fake sun, keeping it over me. All right, it is 1:38 p.m. 82048Z1. 9226 4N2. 8FSP 453. Get this demon. 8AIY 453. It's 1:38 p.m. Alrighty, 8VEH 015. And I did take a picture of those license plates that I just read as I'm crossing the street. I took a picture. What you're looking at is what is stalking. Demons that are stalking. And the fake sun is hovering over me while I'm crossing the street of Sierra. And you're looking at what is the fake sun. You can see the street sign where I'm at, Sierra and Orange Way, at 1:39 p.m. where they are group stalking, tracking every move, doing it by sitting at a traffic light. 8PWX779, 8BLX914. Those demons are captured, engaging in what is stalking in the path on behalf of the government, monitoring with communication devices, which is interstate stalking, while this ongoing system is underway. And the fake sun and the city of Fontana over their head. That's the ongoing direct evidence of what is the stalking by third parties. All right, under what is direct evidence of that which is not the sun, which no demon has any legal argument in federal court. 67171 and 2. And what's going to be the entertaining part, 8WCY121, only entertaining because it's justice. All right, it's necessary. 8WSU531 is showing what are psychopaths while you play their audible activity under the fake sun and indirect light. 171KT handicap 7MW8750, 8ULK969, 4XYR150. 1535543, all of them touching with directed light. That was Omnitrans with the 1535543. ELPANC 2. It is 1:40 p.m. License plate 7DNA 354. That is the audible activity of a demon that is stalking crossing path in directed light on a bike. So the fake sun's over me, directed light moving across the surfaces. He is crossing path on a bike and saying hi. It's audible activity. It's a demon also. Understand that? It is 1:41 p.m. YKB021, 6HIG939, 7PTC244, 6PSV170, 6TJT019, 7BWV96, I'm sorry, 696, 8NEX118, RUIZ01, 7XVE789, 8HSE240, 8PNK123, 29492G9, that's a paper plate, OREMAC. It's currently 1:42 p.m. And what is that? That's called plane activity. State of stalking by planes and the audible activity of planes. License, RCD 2604, Texas, 8MIP597, 73107P2, 8VXL084, JAYSGRL. Jay's girl is a demon. Jay is likely a demon as well. Especially if he's in the state of California. If Jay's out here in relevant position in California, Jay's a demon. 8WNJ559. And it is often the case, birds of a feather flock together, right? Demons are of the like. They have that in common. They mate. They procreate, unfortunately. Whew. License, 8SCV482, 8EXJ792, 8CLG906, 7HOE807, 8RIR906, CA10P36, paper, 7YSV361, 8BYM359, 8HDC504, 8TKA558, 09305X2, 8GZL530, 6UBZ828, 6JLA992, 8LMK306, 8MYB354, 60042K1, 6AAY314, 8LVB764, 8KUA413, 8PIU436. I'm at Arrow Boulevard and Sierra Avenue at 1:44 p.m. 8YHH903, 7HBK480, 8VUD209, 8YSS715, 8MDC599. It's 1:44 p.m. still. 7XIX633, 8KFV201, 8RHJ907, BM40N54, paper, 7TIX746, 7WWX085. Ow. 8FZT596, 31780U1, 58767D3, 84770V2, 30682K2, 8M45840, 8KWY640, 36904F2, 8S65127, 8TQR414, 7VWT979, 45905W2, 5. I can't really see that one. It's 1:45 p.m. Let me show you these demons under the fake sun. And I captured that image 1:46 p.m. You're looking at the intersection of Sierra Avenue and Arrow Boulevard, the state moving its fake sun north as I walk from the intersection of Orange Way and Sierra. 8TQR414, 7VWT979 crossing path, 8YYF645. Believe. The state's fake sun is hovering over that street sign. You can see it, and that is migration of the state's fake sun north. All right, and you have what is the San Bernardino Sheriff's stalking in relevant position as well. I will show you that right now. This is the fake gangster that's demon possessed. This little white boy, 67611B3. Satan ain't gangster, homie. There's nothing gangster about Satan. Satan's getting a beat down right now while he's playing Dr. Dre. 8CBE938. It's called audible activity though. But I'm just letting you know they're pathetic. They're stalkers. 8LRV635. License, it's 1:47 p.m. License 5KEE214. I'm sorry, 5KFE214. And I did capture on video at 1:46 p.m. the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department that are engaged in a pattern of kidnapping with the intent to obstruct justice. That's kidnapping by an entity while engaging in what is a fictitious prosecution on more than one occasion. All right, I've documented more than one, and I've published the documentation of what is the entity engaging in kidnapping via fictitious prosecutions while federal stalking is underway. 8S QG346 and those puppets of Satan that are identified as law enforcement, understanding, revealing what is public corruption to be disbanding of such law enforcement agencies. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department crossing path, which is group stalking and a terrorizing act as they are in the position of law enforcement and having engaged in a pattern of kidnapping, intentionally crossing path visibly to communicate a threat as well under the fake sun that's over me in the city of Fontana at 1:46 p.m. All right, that same entity engaged in what is evasion of service of process. That same department is what I documented as they refuse to engage in what is their statutory duty to provide service of process. All right, while the pattern of conduct was underway. That's evasion of service of process by an entity where they are engaged in federal stalking. All right, 8FUB543 and that same actor engaging in what is kidnapping. 6YAD392, 7ZLF115, and I did capture that on video. All right, this demon crossing path in the parking lot. 6CPF773. 8UBH833, and I'm in the parking lot of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce where the state's fake sun is present. Alrighty, and again, as I'm showing you the state's fake sun, at this time we're the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and the people of the state, demons alike, right? You're isolating them, slicing them down. What is the status of these demons? The status of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, that's the government acting directly. That is the demon-possessed law enforcement agency engaging in stalking, demon-possessed. And you have the people of the state as I'm identifying them by license plate, the people of the state. Demons together, same demonic possession. All right, all together monitoring with communication devices in violation of Title 18. And what you are seeing in that video as well, while I'm showing you what is the fake sun as I am facing south at Arrow Boulevard in Sierra, is the absence of the fake sun over the Fontana Lewis Library. In conflict, while I isolate the P.O.C. to Fontana Lewis, in conflict with what I have already shown while the state's fake sun is present over me at this venue before 10 a.m. and remaining as I am already here at this time. That is the ongoing documentation of what is a fake sun that the entity is indeed stalking under, targeting together. All right, and you have what is the state moving its fake sun to then be over the venue as I arrive at it. All right, if that was actually the sun as I have captured over Fontana Lewis Library, I would not be facing south, showing you what is the street sign of which street sign is incorporated in that video. That is the street sign of what is Sierra Avenue. As you're looking at it, that's the opposite side. The Fontana Lewis Library is the opposite direction. That's the absence of the light source over that venue. And that is showing what is the state moving its fake sun as I arrive at the venue. Stalking with light. Demonic. Okay? P.O.C. And this is where the state's fake sun is now at the Fontana Lewis Library. And that is the state following from, by the way, Ontario at the Motel 6, following to what is Fontana going east, and impossible to ever be over me, contrary to what I documented, because that's not the sun, west of this location in Los Angeles County, over and remaining in San Dimas and Glendora. It's P.O.C. I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library at 1:51 p.m.
It is currently 4:31 p.m. I do want to speak to what I documented in still images inside of State Facilitating Venue Fontana Lewis Library. The ongoing pattern of conduct is underway, of course. The state followed with its fake sun to this venue. And the entity engaging in what is terrorism, turning off the lights inside of the computer lab, which is what I took a picture of at 2:38 p.m. and doing it with simultaneity to my uploading documentation onto my website I'm actually on YouTube at this time, and I am looking for an address specifically for a third-party facilitating venue that is ARCO, where the state was following with its fake sun. And as the entity is literally combing through everything that I'm looking at, the entity is looking at online. They're monitoring, and the computer lab lights go off. And I take an image of that. This is terrorism. That's a method of stalking with light activity. It is also a method of what is harassment while the entity is monitoring what I'm publishing. And I took a picture of what is the darkened computer lab. You can still see directed light on the floor inside of the computer lab. You can still see the directed light, the shadow of the chairs. and the state is still aiming direct light while the computer lab is darkened. All right, that is light activity creation, and that is a method of engaging what is terrorism inside of the venue, by the way. And also, I took images of what is the computer I'm sitting on, FONPL02, that has been frozen for in excess of 7 minutes as I'm uploading, or was attempting to upload convert a document specifically with regard to law enforcement stalking, as I documented it in writing from November 14th, 2018 to approximately October of 2019. And this is that which is already published. I was merely converting it from JPEG to PDF. The entire system froze. This is not a malfunction. This is monitoring. And you have what is the creation of audible activity. The demons behind me, they're being loud, making any noise that they can. They're walking around in directed light. And you also have what is the janitor. The Latina females, they are demons. Okay, first of all, their form for engaging in ongoing noise and engineered light is going into the bathroom where you hear a series of toilets flushing. All of this is loud. The toilet flushing is on a microphone. All right. The door closure as they go inside of the bathroom is on a microphone. It's all amplified, and it is occurring while the state has the entity, the library, computer is absolutely frozen altogether, and I took still images of that as well. This is monitoring, and this is actually I find it laughable because it's pathetic. But you're talking about what is documentation of what is the P.O.C, and it's on a communication device in directed light where the state kept its fake sun, aiming directed light, as I showed you, also in still images, and also documenting what is light activity while the entity stalks with light activity. This is what I'm showing with the ominous stalking of the people of the state, stalking in the path with methods of light, their headlights, their brake lights, their flashers, all right, signage, using any method of light activity. That is how an entity engages in it indoors, turning lights on and off, all right, and doing so while they're monitoring what I'm doing on the venue of the internet. And so it is 4:26 p.m. I'm sorry, it's 4:34 p.m. The clock on the computer says 4:26 p.m. That's a timestamp, all right. It's been frozen since then. It's currently 4:34 p.m. So you're going on 9 minutes now of freezing everything as soon as I go to convert a document that is already published on the internet with regard to the stalking conduct as I documented it in writing. I published it on my website already, and it's published in video as well on YouTube. And it's not really readable, I don't think, on YouTube. It's for purposes of making it known that it's available, and it is accessible on my website, which is also viewable in the Google Drive. I'm going to convert this into a PDF so that it is easily readable on my website, and I just find it so laughable. It's absolutely pathetic. With regard to the ordinary target individual, you're documenting what is terrorism. This is a threat to the life, okay, of the target individual, while this pathetic entity, this is Satan, that loses, okay, that is desperate and in any way pumping all brakes, trying to stop documentation, which it is not going to. They're going to federal prison, all right? The government has no business monitoring and stalking. That has been revealed. The government is a criminal trying to obstruct justice. That's what I am showing. And when I'm speaking of the government, where federal group stalking and monitoring is underway, the people of the state are in the shoes of the government. I'm referring to the totality of that entity. Right now, I'm at the state facilitating venue of Fontana Lewis Library, where the state maintained its light source over the venue, following me to this venue with that fake sun, and also aiming directed light inside of the venue, where they are also engaging in what are not only terrorism, creating light activity, as they are all paying attention to what I'm doing online, and engaging in what is not only the P.O.C, but this is also harassment while they totally freeze the computer. That is, in other words, let me translate that for you. That is, legally speaking, that's ongoing. That's the P.O.C for monitoring. That is harassment by an entity. It's obstruction of justice. But let me be clear with regard to the demons that I am prosecuting. That is Satan. That is very fearful of what I am prosecuting on the public stage, all right, on the world stage. That's fear, okay? But with regard to the government engaging in the satanic system, that's terrorism. That's an unlawful threat while you're trying to obstruct justice. But I just want to break it down. Like I said, Satan is pathetic. All of these minions are pathetic. They're all focused on me, trying to stop that which is already done. And not only that, this is already published on the venue of the internet. It's already online, and I'm going to put it in the form, whatever form that I want. I'm going to, in its totality, publish everything like I said from the outset, and I'm going to prosecute this entity. This is documentation of obstruction of justice at Fontana Lewis Library, where, by the way, I documented what was the state's fake son as the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is crossing path, and I'm showing you what is on my website and on YouTube, whereas the state's fake sun is already present when I'm here at in the morning. And this is what I was showing at the same intersection of Arrow Boulevard and Sierra Avenue, where the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department is intentionally crossing path. Okay, this is P.O.C. It is currently 4:37 p.m. All right, couple of things. First of all, the security guard company, Private Security, Absolute Security, the specific name is published on my website, 8NDK993. That's a demon that's crossing path, and the name of it is called Absolute International Security, license 8NVV776. Today they brought an African-American demon-possessed group stalker engaging in the P.O.C. at the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library and in the parking lot, stalking in the path. In directed light, the same environment, the demon that's cleaning the table in relevant position, while, by the way, the state was sounding helicopter activity. That's what I documented in video, and that's what I was going to speak to. It's currently 5:07, and so as I walk out at 4:59 p.m., the state is sounding helicopter activity. So you can hear it, and so I captured it on video, not the visible presence of the helicopter, but you can hear the helicopter activity. And then moments later, I'm capturing what is images of the demon that's using she's pushing around a bucket. This is the demon. Because what is she doing? She's engaging in activity creation. First of all, she's in directed light. Second of all, she's not acting by herself. She's acting as an entity. This particular demon is creating loud noise, which the state is amplifying by pushing around a trash can on wheels, which the state makes, it's amplified, all right? And it's in directed light, and that's what I captured on video. This demon that is engaging in monitoring an American citizen, and I'm also making an example because as you are slicing apart this demonic system, those who are not natural-born citizens, they are worthy, and it is necessary as a matter of justice to ship them back to their country of origin, where perhaps they are monitoring, and it is not a concealed system. All right. In the United States, it's concealed because it's not supposed to be happening. All right. We're supposed to be above that, and we are not. All right. You are shipping those citizens that are not natural born American citizens out here, monitoring an American citizen. All right. In my country. All right, I'm just going to say, in my country, monitoring me in violation of the Constitution, which you state that you want to be bound by, you want to be here, taking advantage of those laws, taking defense under that same Constitution while you're violating it and doing it in concert with the government while you're practicing entirely demented conduct. Satan, it's demons altogether. No, you ship them out of here. All right, we have enough demons in the United States in our own territory to deal with, including the law enforcement office. Those that are here, there's enough that the United States has to deal with. Listen to that. As soon as I name those demons, they sound sirens, okay? And they should pay attention because they're going to federal prison. That's why you have a demon that's over here dragging a trash can in directed light while she's monitoring, and the state is engaging in sounding helicopter activity. Yeah, and the state's fake son is present over me while I walk to this venue of the Fontana Lewis Library, and I captured at 9:46 in the morning the state's fake son that is already present in Fontana while I'm at the state facilitating venue of the Fontana Police Department, capturing those puppets of Satan, monitoring while I'm at their venue, making an example, showing you what is indiscriminate demon possession. That is a psychopath having no business, engaging in criminal conduct, having no business in the position of law enforcement. All of them right now positioned around the perimeter, listening to me, paying attention to every syllable, and waiting for me and all the ways in which I'm going to prosecute this entity. And that is relevant directly to the video that I captured of this demon-possessed stalker, this Latina female who is dragging around a trash can in directed light, showing what the psychopath she is, all right? That same entity stalking me and monitoring me, engaging and surveilling me while I'm in the restroom, inside of a private space of a hotel room, inside of the private space of any public establishment where there's a bathroom, listening to me pull my panties down, listening to everything that is engaged in that private space. That is the same entity. Yes, you ship those out of here. Those that are not natural-born citizens, there's enough of the demons that are present, and as I'm revealing it, you ship those other ones out of here. And that's necessary to matter of justice. And by the way, that is customary with regard to ordinary criminal law. Now, this is unprecedented criminal conduct by a government who's monitoring with those who are over and under the age of 18, both natural and unnatural born citizens, all right? You're going to slice all of that down, and you ship them out of here. And the government that is monitoring with them, that is literally engaging in using them, the faces of Satan, who are, with regard to their status, whether they are natural-born citizens or not, That's going to be used against them with regard to the ways in which they are going to suffer at a federal prosecution. All right, it's currently 5:10 p.m. and this is Fontana Lewis Library, and that was the state sounding sirens as they hear me speak of police, law enforcement, the very entity, right, that I've already published documentation about, and this pathetic entity is trying to stop the ability to convert a document. All right, that's what monitoring is, by the way. They're just interrupting internet. And how do you monitor on the internet? This very demonic activity. Stalking with this engineered light is affecting the operation of internet and communication device operation. Stalking in the path, these very demons themselves, this demonic activity is centered on technology, whatever Satan has going on. That's not my concern. I'm letting you know what the demonic activity is accomplishing, and it's with regard to what is in violation of existing federal law, and that's interstate stalking, using communication devices to do so on the venue of the internet, which is relevant to interstate commerce as well. And every type of actor, including those who are commercial actors, such as Union Pacific, Southwest Airlines, Frontier Airlines, who are regularly engaging in interstate commerce while they're engaging in what is federal stalking with the government, on behalf of the government, in concert with the government. All right, it is currently 5:11 p.m. at Fontana Lewis Library. This is P.O.C. All right, touching 6YAD 392, sex offender, molesting in the parking lot, creeping in the dark, waiting to touch, monitoring what I'm doing on my phone as well, okay? There's no question with regard to the P.O.C. You've got helicopters coming out of the blue. No, they're not coming out of the blue. The state is stalking. The state is a stalker, all right, and is getting what are third parties, as I'm documenting, getting them summarily shipped out of here, all right? You can put a UPS stamp on that. All right, them and their little criminal partners with UPS. Ship them right on up out of here. It's 5:15 p.m. and that's a sex offender while I'm inside of the parking lot of Fontana Chamber of Commerce. Fontana Chamber of Commerce. All right, now let me be clear. I am speaking to what is the ongoing patrolling. All right, so you're listening to what is relevant positioning, directed light. All of the demons are monitoring together. All of them are stalking together. All right. This is the unfathomable system, and this is the government stalking everywhere, all around you. 8VOH334, and they're all demons. Every single last one of them. 33075R1 7WOC066, and it is currently, by the way, 5:15 p.m. And it's entirely pathetic, the entity engaging in trying to stop me from converting a document that's going on the internet. First of all, it's already on the internet. We're going to send 7LF567. If they're not natural born citizens, you ship them out. Okay, communication device in operation in directed light while they're molesting. 7PAL636, 6VOF928. And so you have what is the entity engaging in the pathetic, and it's pathetic because first of all, you're talking about fear. I mean, you are talking about some serious fear, but the flip side of that is because I'm speaking to what is the creation of legislation. That's terrorism while government is stalking somebody with helicopters and by law enforcement and molesting your body all over the place with light, which is what these demons are doing right now. All of them are demented psychopaths, all right, engaging in what is showing that they are psychopaths and sex offenders and weirdos, contrary to what is criminal defamation. CA3EF91, I believe. I can't really see that one. 7PJC066, 43801, handicap, 7FNY114, 7VPN105, 6EQM404. All of them touching because they're all trying to obstruct what I'm doing, which is converting a document at the same time. And this is what I'm speaking to, what is so pathetic, because it's on the one hand, and by the way, I said it's no less of a threat just because my ability to discern the demonic, my ability to create a legal framework whereby you will prosecute the demonic is no less of terrorism by that demonic entity. It's no less of a sex offender. I am no less of a targeted individual. It's going to take someone to advocate on behalf of what American citizens are enduring, having no way to confront it legally. All right. So what you're just going to sufferance? No, I don't think so. This is what the resolution. This is the resolution. This is the resolution, and I am the one that is speaking on behalf of the ordinary target individual. And let me be clear: understanding what is demonic activity and all of these demons acting by numbers, which is it's no competition for what is superior. They are inherently inferior. Understand? You can have 1,000,001 minions. It does not equal one effective instrument. I'll say that way. Okay, it does not matter. And this is what they engage in gang conduct. You got a whole bunch of dummies. That does not equal one smart person. Do you understand that? But their conduct in this gang conduct, you have a whole bunch of minions that defame you. You have a whole bunch of minions that engage in participating in fictitious prosecutions to kidnap you. You have a whole bunch of minions that engage in stealing your property, engage in harassing you, engaging in pointing the finger at you while they are in fact stalking and monitoring you. That's how the system works. That's how the system works. And you create legislation to prosecute every single malicious tactic by demons operated by a government. 7 PHK 497. That's what federal group stalking and monitoring is. And like I said, my ability to coin it, my ability to legislate around it, my ability to discern it, my ability to confront it and speak to it, it is no less of a terrorizing threat. Okay, now I recognize what is of the demonic, and it is pathetic, all right, because it's supposed to be all manner of some bully. And I find it pathetic that you are honing in on American citizens. That is the absolute coward. That's why it's pathetic, all right? And it's that operating under some false pretense of power. No, you don't have power, because individually by themselves, they're little feeble, shivering, terrified. They are terrified with regard to knowledge of revealing their knowledge as to their condition. Oh, they're terrified for that to be known. Terrified. Understand that, okay? All right, and they don't want that to be known. And also the criminal conduct, which is unprecedented, all right? Unprecedented. That's what is undesired with regard to speaking to that, all right? 7ZLF 115, and it's pathetic. Flying over around me, everywhere that I'm going in helicopter, that is terrorism, yes, but you're talking about an entity that's very, very horrified, and they should be, because they're going to federal prison. They're going to federal prison. Stalking in helicopters, that is unprecedented grounds for federal prison. Terrorizing American citizens like that. While you also, this fact pattern in particular, remember, this entity is a kidnapper. CLDRN13, they should have no problem. They're crossing paths right now, indirect light, molesting with the rest of them. No problem with regard to identifying, hold on, let me get this, 8REP 157. They're at Sierra Avenue and Arrow Boulevard, by the way. Let me get the rest of these license plates. 5H. Hold on one second. 5HVZ048. 88004M2. 7C15803. 8MGC277. 5BSF157. All of them are touching. All right. Like I said, with regard to no problem with regard to prosecuting. I'm doing more than one thing at one time, forgive me. So you have what is no problem with regard to prosecuting under the evidence, which is cornered. Satan is cornered. You can fill in the blank with any demon's name you want. Law enforcement, some demon that's driving an ambulance, some demon whose name you know, all right? Some demon whose name you don't need to know. You got their license plate, or you got their image, or you got the venue where they're at, all right? Because there's more than one way to document. You can fill in the blank. The entity is surrounded. The entity is surrounded, and it is that which is necessary as a matter of justice. And those that are documented engaging in terrorism with the government, engaging in federal stalking with the government, monitoring in this regard, and all the ways in which the entity intended by virtue of the pattern of conduct, by virtue of the group conduct that is practiced. They're not doing it as individuals. They're doing it as a group. And it's done this way, not only because it's demonic, and this is how demons act, they act as a pack, but because it is designed to terrorize someone. While you are totally surrounded, you are targeted by an entire entity. All right, that same malice with which the entity created is going to translate into what is the intensification of a federal prosecution. Shipping out of the country, you're going to federal prison. You are losing any positions that you have where you are posing a threat to the public, which you are. You're a demon-possessed stalker. You're a psychopath, a dangerous one, and that condition is revealed. All right, based on by virtue of the state's pattern of conduct, you understand you're dealing with the demonic. All right, and they're engaging in not only criminally monitoring American citizen like myself. You're talking about they are unleashed in life, all right, in society, engaging in lawlessness in ways that are concealed. Okay, they're engaging in criminal conduct with law enforcement. All right, you're talking about all the ways in which you're going to neutralize the threat that dangerous psychopaths pose in everyday life. All right, when you are addressing what is federal stalking, 8SFT 491, 8FHC 491. It's currently 5:23 p.m. and I remain at Arrow Boulevard and Sierra Avenue, where I am simultaneously downloading a file that this entity wanted to stop me from downloading it, and I'm going to download it, and I'm also going to publish it tonight because it is nothing but a mere annoyance. That, like I said, Satan has no authority. Satan has no authority whatsoever. Satan is now subject to what are the decrees from the divine. Okay, understand that it is divine in and of itself that this is even made manifest before anyone else to witness. Okay, this is designed to criminally defame one that's alleging it. This is designed to result in what is kidnapping and permanent silence. All right, or any other means of the devastation of that American citizen who was subject to this. All right, you're talking about revealing what is the criminal that is a government, as Satan is literally operating over a people and operating over an entity, a public entity. All right, which is none other than a legal status. This is really the life lesson here. First of all, demonic activity is very real, okay? It's relevant to everyday life as well, as I'm documenting criminal conduct by the government, acting through 7 TLX 560, 8 PFT 648, while the state is in relevant position patrolling via helicopter, as I'm facing south, looking at Citibank, the state's stalking with helicopter, 8AEF 389, 8AEF 809, excuse me. And let's see this license plate. I can't see that one. License plate 8KSZ 392. All of them are stalking. 8DH 796. All of them are pathetic. 8KYU 873. The state is flying in the distance in helicopter, just like it was over the Fontana Lewis Library. All right. The state is stalking with directed light. They're sex offenders. They like to listen to me pull my panties down. They like to engage in making noises inside of the bathroom while they listen to me pull my panties down. Okay, that's a very very much of a creeper and a sexually motivated stalker. Okay, that's exceeding federal stalking conduct. You're talking about the demonic engaging in federal stalking, but you're also talking about the satiation of engaging in what is sexual violence. That's what this is. The demonic, they have an appetite for sexual violence. 8YJP 709. All right, license plate 17201K2, touching. All right, it's currently 5:25 p.m. And like I was stating, I am simultaneously downloading a file, which, let me be clear, the entity is so scared they froze me out of the computer inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. They just froze me out, okay? I had a remaining like 15 minutes. Oh, no. Now when I'm trying to convert a JPEG images into a PDF that has to do with law enforcement and the prolonged documentation that I gathered in 2018 to 2019. Oh no, the computer will freeze and try to stop me from engaging in that. And then I step out in the state of sounding helicopter activity. And then I step out and demons are surrounding, and a demon with a trash can, she's dragging it around while she has double and triple shadows. It's the P.O.C. Demons, all right, because they're terrified of what I'm publishing on the internet. So anyway, this is what I'm doing right now while I'm standing here, and I'm also documenting these demons by license plate. They're all engaging in sexual violence. They're all touching. They're all stalking. All right. And they're also engaging in what is the ongoing accumulation of federal charges. And you're talking about what is federal prison. And this goes back, understand, where the entity engages in evasion of service of process. downloaded my document, and I'm going to be publishing that on the internet. As you can see, as you've witnessed, the more that the entity tries to relent. In other words, you engage in threatening me, you engage in kidnapping me, I'm going to do that and much more to you. License plate 8ETY069. She's a sex offender. All right, and she's going to pay for being that sex offender. License plate 8JXD521. And this is what the entity has been engaged in for a prolonged period of time. It's called judgment. All right, so trying to stop me from publishing is not going to stop me. I'm going to document you, and you're going to pay for that. 8WLA273, 8UVC511, 7FHB240, 8FUA729. You steal my property. Not only am I going to get it back, but I'm going to take yours. I'm going to take your reputation. I'm going to take your freedom. This is the entity that engaged in that. Understand, in every way, they are going to pay the penalty for that. Nobody's getting away with anything. All right, 8YMF033, and I mean that. That's exactly what I mean, and that's going to be the policy, because this is what the government is doing to American citizens. And it's a new day, 479 S81 Nevada, 7RXW609, 57743J2, 7TPJ710, 6NPC180. It's currently 5:29 p.m. All right, group stalking at Citibank, both by the state and by helicopter, and by group stalkers stalking using their vehicles as light activity, right? So you put on your reverse lights, keep your foot on your brakes while I am crossing path. That's a demon that's focused on me at the venue of what is the Citibank, where, by the way, the state was following with its fake send today. Monitoring at Casa Barreto, exiting that venue as a means of crossing path. Where they also engage in stalking, engaging in surveillance inside of that parking lot. 7TIX279, it's currently 5:30 p.m. And I did download that document. I downloaded it a couple times, actually, while I was documenting. But I'm making a point. Satan is not going to stop that which is already in motion, that which is already done. Okay, it's already done. And by the way, Satan loses. Let me give you another life lesson. All right, Satan already lost a long time ago when that entire criminal system is published on the internet. 01836E3. Understand that was never the plan in the first place. That is only one aspect of judgment. Okay, widespread publication of criminal conduct in the United States, 8DLR084, and of unfathomable, all right, unfathomable, and that which you cannot even imagine, because I couldn't imagine it. It was so unimaginable. It was so unbelievable. I had to document it. All right. It is currently 5:31 p.m. and I'm walking down 8KS and 421. Walking down Sierra Avenue. Demons are crossing paths serially. 8DWH349. 8MAA653. 8BSJ993. 8CBC563. 7ZKT151. Fontana Police 142561, I believe. I can't really see that, but you saw those demons. You've already seen them. I've shown you those puppets in direct light. That's exactly what they're doing crossing path. Fontana PD also documented engaging in kidnapping. All right, those are puppets of Satan. It is currently, like I said, 5:31 p.m. while the state is sounding plane activity, while this demon is monitoring with minor children. Okay, that little demon child has light activity on her scooter while you hear the state sounding plane engines, while Fontana PD cross path, while I'm being molested with directed light. That's Satan. That's P.O.C. Okay, that's P.O.C. That's what's going on right now. License plate 8VIA358. 8MYX244. And that plane activity again at Valencia and Sierra, where that demon-possessed stalker is there with two minor children. Again, that little child is nothing but an activity creator, all right? And that activity creator is light activity, so using something that lights up. Demons do this all the time, including children in the P.O.C. 5UWT049. 8KTX023, and that's relevant with regard to what is engaging in terrorism. And let me be clear, okay? This is terrorism. It is equally serious as every other form of, as we reference terrorism under the law, as you reference terrorism in foreign countries. The domestic enemy is the very government here in the United States that is engaging in terrorizing American citizens. So let me be clear, that domestic enemy are the people of the state. That domestic enemy, is the very public entity itself. And you are engaging in what is that criminal conduct, terrorism, and you're including children. And it is equally egregious if a child is to use a bomb and kill themselves or kill anyone else. You are talking about what is equally egregious while the entity is engaging in terrorism, practicing demonic activity, and including children in that, okay? That's what, it's the same thing with sexual violence. This is exactly what they're doing. And they're demons that think that thought that they would do it in your face and you would never know what it is, right? You don't know what you're looking at, all right? You don't even know what's going on, if you even know that you're being monitored, okay? It is currently 5:34 p.m. and that's what was ongoing at the corner. That's documentation of the whole entity. I don't need to take that demon's picture. I don't need to. I do that though. I do that very often, as you see, because I'm making examples out of minions. I'm making examples out of them. And so anyway, my point is I downloaded the document that the entity was trying so hard. I mean, the thirst is just, whoo. 8TMT081. And the thing about it is because it's going on the internet. So you have the state engaging in helicopter activity. You have this demon patrolling all around me in direct light outside of the entrance. You have them freezing the computer and it's going to go on the internet. It's already on the internet and it's going to go on the internet. Do you know how many thousands of do you know how many thousands of videos that I have already published? Okay? I've already published and nothing is going to stop what has already began. Okay, and it began before Satan became aware of it. Okay, Satan became aware of it when I started writing it down, when I started documenting it, when I started demonstrating outwardly, that is, symptoms of knowledge that I am suspecting that, peculiar things are going on around me with regard to people I don't even know and people that I did know. Okay, you're talking about this was in motion before Satan became aware of it. All right, Satan including 21944H2, the demons driving the American medical response right now, listening to me tell them they're going to federal prison. Okay, they engaged in kidnapping and they're stalking, still stalking to this day. That's an unlawful threat. All right, it's cumulative with regard to the documentation. 14665T1. They sure did engage in kidnapping on more than one occasion. Kidnapping with the Ontario Fire Department, kidnapping with the Ontario Police Department, kidnapping while I was already in the illegal custody of the sheriff and the court and the Ontario, because it's kidnapping by an entity. The Ontario police are not done with that kidnapping after they kidnap me off of the street. No, they remain subject to what are the federal laws that are relevant with regard to being kidnapped inside of a jail while you're being subject to sexual violence. All right, while they're in violation of Title 15. Oh yeah, the Ontario police remain relevant with regard to that prosecution. That's how that's going to work. All right. So, and with regard to federal laws, and when you are in jail, and let me be clear, these facilities, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, they are governed by Title 34. That's the Prison Rape Elimination Act. They're governed by Title 15. All right. This is with regard to your right to tranquility, a tranquil, peaceful environment. Because when you are in jail, you don't lose your constitutional rights. And let me be clear, the pattern of conduct, as you are witnessing, it is inherently in violation of those intersecting laws. And when the state is sounding helicopter activity inside of the jail cell, which is exactly what the entity was doing, sounding sirens, all right, sounding the sound of traffic, these demons right now, 61794V2, engaging in monitoring, communicating a threat to me, and this is what the state is doing while it creates the sound of traffic, which you cannot hear inside of any jail cell of the West Valley Detention Center. You cannot hear that. That was a communication of a threat, all right, and the people of the state engage in that in the same way that they're engaged in kidnapping. All right, so I want to be clear. The entity remains subject to those federal laws, and Ontario police remain subject to that, facilitating that I was subject to while I'm kidnapped by this entity. And it doesn't stop because they picked me up off the street illegally to initiate that kidnapping. Fontana PD crossing path again, 1596984. That's Satan listening to me prosecute them. Crossing path, and they've been sitting stationary at the traffic light, stalking. The entire time I was talking for the past About 2 minutes, stalking at the traffic light. They're just now crossing path right now. They've been sitting and stalking in relevant position. I remain subject to what is molestation by directed light. All right, I want to document what is the Village at Sierra. It's a facilitating venue, flickering light. Okay, that's light activity. All right, I did capture video at 5:39 p.m. showing what is directed light. I have approximately 5 shadows, and I show all those shadows, and I'm showing you what is the significance of the flashing light. The Village at Sierra is, this is not a malfunction. This is a long-term documented pattern. All right, this flashing, pulsating, blinking, flashing light, this is a method of light activity. This is entirely demonic. And it is that which is facilitating the state's pattern of conduct, and that is the Village at Sierra, where I'm at the intersection, where I am also being molested with directed light. Okay, that's the ongoing P.O.C. But I want to be clear, that is the pattern of conduct, and I have established that. But I'm letting you know, it is indeed the pattern of conduct. You see the directed light that I'm being molested by. My shadow, I have 5 of them all around me. All right, there is no idle creation of that light activity. It is no malfunction. The people who are demon possessed engage in stalking with flashing light. Stalking with light creation, that's exactly what Omnitrans is doing. The fact that those demons are driving buses is no form. You're understanding what is the system by a government ceaselessly underway. Ceaselessly. All right? It is currently 5:40 p.m. and I did capture that video. Let me get this demon. License JAN 064, I believe. I can't really see it. It's a Florida license plate. And this is Omnitrans Route 66 while I'm at Fontana Metrolink train station. And as I'm arriving at 5:40 p.m., bus number 2356. Crossing path. Let me count my shadows. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows. License plate 1302442 at 5:40 p.m. Alrighty, license 1545838, bus number 2359. This looks like a Caucasian male. I did take an image of him at 6:15 p.m. They are blatantly engaged in the criminal pattern of conduct. These demons are not even acting like they're running an ordinary bus line outside of the P.O.C. This demon engaging in what is stopping at a non-bus stop, and does so with simultaneity to my operation of my phone. The entire time I'm on the bus, the entity engaging in trying to obstruct. Again, that's 1545838. And so that's Route 61 at 6:15 p.m. You have what is stalking with audible activity using the bus, and stops just stops in the street, opens the back door. No stop was requested. This is the bus driver that is stopping the bus on the side of the street and opening the back door, which is nearest me, which is activity creation. The lights come on, and he does so as I am on the internet, and I'm uploading this file with regard to the list of police encounters and the correct date of that documentation, which is written. This is substantial documentation that I have already published, and it's in writing. And this is before I started concentrating on visual documentation like video and images. I did have some. Well, actually, it's not before, because I did have some, but I pretty much focused on video documentation as of August 2019, pretty much. When I realized that the state that was stalking by aircraft was not something that was helpful to me, contrary to what I believe, because I had contacted FBI. So, let me be clear. What I did was I submitted an inquiry on the FBI website requesting an investigation with regard to what was public corruption. All right. And so then the state starts stalking via aircraft, helicopter, and doing so, and understand the state was already doing this. This is what I documented May 23rd, 2018. I just did not know that, okay? The state was not engaging in hovering over me in commercial airline planes. The state was not hovering over me in helicopters, such that I was noticing it every single day. As I contacted FBI in 2018, this is when the state engaged in increasing that aggression. And that is documented with regard to the stalking via law enforcement. This is what I was writing down with regard to the list of police encounters, and it is dated November 16th, 2018 to October 4th, 2019. This is following the documentation as I summarily resigned from the law offices of Michael Bialis on October 31st, 2020. 2018, where I started documenting and writing, which was as of October 16, 2018, and that initiated with the very peculiar stop by the Los Angeles Police Department, which I documented on video, and directed light is the fake sun is over me. This is P.O.C. This is the precipice of everything that I have revealed that the entity is engaging in now. So with regard to this documentation, this demon driving the Omnitrans bus stops at a non-bus stop, just stops on the side of the road, does so with simultaneity to my operation on the internet, on my phone, and the entity the entire time obstructing my ability to convert a JPEG image. It's currently in JPEG. I'm describing this because it's relevant to what is monitoring on the internet. And so that's why I'm going through the minutia of what I'm doing, and then and also giving you context with regard to the specific document and documentation that I was working with online. So anyway, the entity, and this is the Omnitrans, this is a demon. He just stops the bus, opens the back door, and does so trying to engage in, well, not trying, that's activity creation, and the entity is trying to engage in what is obstructing the ability to convert the document on the internet. And the specific website is, I believe it's called smallpdfs.com. It's a free website. You can convert anything to a PDF or vice versa. And so while they're engaging in this is demonic activity. All right. While they're engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is demonic activity, this demon just stops on the side of the road and opens the door. That creates activity. And I reference the surveillance cameras. This is at 6:15 p.m. This is before we arrive at Citrus. Citrus is the next intersection that we arrive at. He stops in the middle. Not in the middle of the street. He stops on the at the sidewalk. He immediately stops the bus. All right, which is activity creation, which is engaging in what is monitoring on my phone. I did capture video of what are the demons that are on the bus at the Metrolink bus station. I'm sorry, at the Metrolink train station. The entity engaging in monitoring on my phone. I did download this same document that I'm referencing, but the page sequence is not in the manner that I want it, and so I'm downloading it again. I'm converting it again. So that's why I'm speaking to what is the ongoing engagement of monitoring with regard to this specific documentation that is already published, and the entity engaging in very desperate methods. I can smell the fear as the demons engage in P.O.C. And I'm going to do a specific podcast with regard to this documentation as well. The more that the entity engages in this conduct, the more that I will hone in on it. It is documentation of law enforcement. I'm showing you the puppets of the law enforcement while they're stalking me under the fake sun. The Upham Police Department, the Glendora Police Department, the Ontario Police Department, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. You have what is, first of all, the Los Angeles Police Department, which is the first one that I'm gathering on October 16, 2018. And this is where the pattern of conduct, essentially the documentation, takes off. That is the first video. And this is documentation that I'm gathering still in 2021. Back in 2018, I already had it. Okay, I had not yet become aware of directed light. I had not yet become aware of what is the fake sun that the state was keeping over my head while the Los Angeles Police Department were engaging in P.O.C. as I captured on video. All right, I just captured it on video because the circumstances of that stop were very suspicious, and law enforcement had already engaged in what I observed, a pattern of being everywhere that I was at, and so I started paying attention and documenting it. And you have what was harassment and accusing me of that which they ordinarily would not have known. And this is based on the facts that are known, okay? Outside of any pattern of conduct documentation, this police officer of the Los Angeles Police Department, who was parked away on a motorcycle at a distance on the passenger side of the vehicle, where I have limo tint on the back of my car, tint on the front of my car. He's wearing dark sunglasses on a motorcycle in an alley, and he's accusing me of not wearing my seatbelt, which he could not have possibly seen. And when he saw me, when he is encountering me, I actually had my seatbelt on, all right? But I actually did not have my seatbelt on another street. All right, I'm on another street where I was driving around looking for parking, didn't have on my seatbelt. By the time I'm crossing him, I am putting my seatbelt is on, okay? And so I noticed this, and this is within a pattern where law enforcement is following everywhere I'm going. And so that's why and in addition to the fact that he didn't want to approach the vehicle and actually look at my seatbelt, all right? Ontario police, these demons are stalking at the intersection. I'm going to get their license plate right now. They're listening to me. I'm going to put them in federal prison. Documentation started with LAPD. Oh, they're going straight on Plum right now, crossing path at 7:18 p.m. You have what is the Los Angeles Police Department didn't want to approach me at the window and look at my seatbelt, which is a complete investigation with regard to your claiming you have reasonable suspicion. You don't. They don't. They were monitoring. Okay, and directed light is all over in that video on October 16, 2018. So anyway, I'm not going to go over that right now. This is the documentation that is in writing. It is covering this documentation that does exist in video, and it is already published on YouTube. And it is published also with regard to called List of Events. This is written with regard to October 16, 2018 to November 14, 2018. And then this list of police encounters is dated November 16, 2018 to October 4th, 2019. This written documentation of list of police encounters is what the entity was engaging in and is engaging in literally trying to stop me from being able to merely convert it. All right, so I will be doing a podcast on that, going over the documentation, as I'm going to make sure I do that. The entity is scared, and they should be scared, because this is speaking to what are the demon-possessed actors that, as the state acts directly via law enforcement, understand they are the impetus of the system. The entity engages in criminal summoning. That's relying on the threatening, terrorizing conduct of law enforcement, while all of those demons are monitoring together, stalking together. All right, engaging in what is repeated acts of kidnapping, molesting via license 8PGV248, engaging in repeated acts of kidnapping while they are doing so while federal group stalking and monitoring is underway. And how do they do that? By the state actors that are the demon-possessed law enforcement agencies, fire department, and ambulance personnel. Okay, so this is directly relevant, and they should be scared. But like I said, everything that the entity engages in is speaking to what is judgment that it's heaping on itself, literally. Much of what the entity has done has resulted in what is the creation of policy that's going to place them in federal prison. And with regard to that prosecution and the policies that are at play when you're being prosecuted as a group stalker. And all that is implicated with regard to that. You are identified as a demon-possessed one. This is a sex offender, molesting, tracking my every move with the Ontario police who are monitoring as well. 8UNF299. I'm going to get all the demons at Andy's Burgers because they're monitoring and stalking. They're all molesting together. 7GMJ827. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows while they're molesting. Again, those are 2 sex offenders at Plum and Holt, operating with their communication devices. And let me document third-party facilitating venue Metro 102, group stalkers stalking in the path on the opposite side of the street, 8RXC926, 8JFB441. All of these demons are sex offenders. They're monitoring together. 7YKM481, 8NRN890. License 7HCD661. License. These are the demons inside of the drive-thru of Andy's Burgers. I've shown you the directed light underneath the structure of the drive-thru. Absolutely impossible light activity. While the state's fake sun was over here, these demons aren't doing anything but stalking, and they're sex offenders monitoring while another group stalker is molesting me with light. They're sex offenders together. All right, touching wherever they can. As soon as I make any false, not any false, but as soon as I make any move, they're all sex offenders listening to me. They're demons. 5JUD288, and that's why I'm being molested with directed light. I have multiple shadows. Okay, they're not doing anything but stalking, doing it in a drive-thru. License plate. And by the way, that light activity present, as I captured on video, in Fontana, multiple shadows, and multiple shadows at this intersection, which I've heavily documented in Ontario at the intersection of Plum and Holt. Okay, where I have directed light all over the place while I have multiple shadows. And I've also shown you that while I'm walking down the street from Upland to Ontario. Every corner, okay? I'm showing you that 7YKM481 and corner, sidewalk, wherever it is that I'm at, this impossible light activity exists. This demon stalking in a drive-thru, license 8JFB441, stalking via Andy's Burgers. 6440983, stalking via Andy's Burgers. License plate 8HRM592, 8CMS839, and I'm sorry, W707TN, and that is Utah. 6ASW231, 8 RFC 629, 6 WYA 893, 47658 F3. All right, demons just sitting in the parking lot with their lights aimed. This is for purposes of as I'm walking on the sidewalk. 6KPN 473 touching. All right, this one aiming their headlights. That's a demon that's stalking with light in the parking lot. 14144 F2. 8CHC 172. This is the same Andy's Burgers where I'm showing you at 8:53 in the morning while I'm sitting inside. The state aiming directed light inside of that venue, on the ceiling, all over the floor. Okay, there is nothing but P.O.C going on. These are nothing but demons. 6TXJ 838, 8DHJ 537, and they're sex offenders. Sex offenders. And guess who's creeping around? The Ontario Police Department, demons that are monitoring while I'm being molested. This is ongoing demonic activity achieving federal stalking. 8MYE 203, 8HDH 464, 6LNL 340, 6XCJ 153, 8LSA 048, 8SJX 157, 7GTT 675, 5FPU 429, 85809K1, 8EOT 514, 8TPZ 734, 6TXP 555, 6DFL 951, 8FJE 936, 8BAF 725, 94573K1, 6XBW 988, 8YDC 798. All right, I just want to walk through, get all of those. It is currently 7:25 p.m. And so with regard to the documentation that I'm going to publish with regard to the list of events, that is dated, October 16, 2018 to November 14, 2018, 8SNU066 molesting. And the list of police encounters that is dated October 16, 2018 to November 16, 2018 to October 4th, 2019. With regard to these documents, this is written documentation that I have published. And I'm going to, let me get these license plates. 8YJC 704, 7RGA 794, 54940X1, 78RR 571, 7UXA 129, 7MVG 563, 8HHZ 816, 6CRB 093, 46672R2, 8GEA 428, 7ZDZ 684, 8TTG 8TTG 211, and it is, let me see, this demon coming from the back street of Transit, 8P12439. License plate 7HZY218. It's 7:27 p.m. License plate 6PAJ422. Going to the back street of Transit on surveillance cameras, no headlights on. They're still molesting. I'm being molested with directed light. All right, this is why I have multiple shadows. They're driving through and they're still crossing path, and light activity and directed light remains. All right, they also engage in touching when they're running headlights across your body, touching on any body part, touching in any method while you're stalking with the government. And understand, demons' intention is to touch with light. This is entirely demented conduct. They are stalking you with light. This is the demonic activity. 8CHC264. These two old white biddies are sitting over here at S.I.I.S Liquor stalking in operation of communication device. I don't know what their race is. They look like they're Caucasian. The license again is 8CHC264 in operation of their communication devices in directed light, stalking in the path at S.I.I.S Liquor. It's currently 7:28 p.m. All right, those two old biddies, whatever they are, Latinas or Caucasian females, they're demon-possessed stalkers. That's what they are. 6VJS395 for purposes of identifying. That's why I'm speaking to race. It's means of identity. Physical identity, and they are stalking in the path at the S.I.I.S Liquor. This is what, as I arrive at S.I.I.S Liquor today, and I show you the fake sign as Tracy Banks is driving off, the group stalker that you see that is sitting, this is an old Latino male, I believe, and he is sitting in the parking lot right next to me in the vehicle while Tracy Banks is driving off. Not the ones that are sitting in the parking lot across from me facing the S.I.I.S Liquor. The ones that is right next to me in the vehicle, which is positioning, all right? Well, the entity knows exactly where she's going to go. They're surrounding me while she's entering the parking lot, and then as she leaves, he remains at that parking spot, which is a means of stalking in the path while I'm inside of the store, by the way. And that was the tactic for stalking in the path, remaining present. Those two biddies, as I document, I'm showing you their images, and they're engaging in P.O.C. They are stalking in the path at the S.I.I.S Liquor, okay? As I exit out, rider crossing path right now. As I exit out, you have what is the third party whose license plate I've already recited. I just want to be clear. Stalking in the path, this is teamwork. S.I.I.S Liquor is not monitoring by themselves. The demons go to a venue engaging in group presence, all right? It's teamwork. There's maintaining light all around you, maintaining light on you, maintaining presence all around inside of the store and outside of the store. And that's what they are doing while I'm at that venue. 7:31 p.m. I'm at the B&G Plaza. And I have exited the S.I.I.S Liquor. And that was a rider, like I stated, crossing path in a large commercial-sized truck, larger than the usual short trucks that that rider likes to use to cross path under the fake sun and molest with directed light. They are still crossing path in directed light right now at nightfall, and they are still stalking nonetheless. That's the point. And driving what is west on Hope Boulevard at 7:30 p.m. All right, this is P.O.C. What I was speaking to is the fact that I'm going to publish this written documentation, and I'm going to reiterate it because much of this is now being understood because, like I said, I have already published everything. I have long-term documentation starting, systematically with regard to specifically honing in on what I had to do based on the threat that was posed to me while I'm in the workforce, and I cannot work anymore while the government, not aware of the government, but I'm aware of law enforcement and people at my places of work stalking. Okay, and when the Los Angeles Police Department engaged in stalking and then waging an allegation of not wearing a seatbelt, when I'm aware that there's no way that they are humanly aware of that. All right, there is no way, and I outline all of those facts surrounding that, and then you're also looking at what is the presence of directed light. So okay, this is not a matter of question. This is a matter of me spelling it out for everyone to understand with regard to what is federal group stalking and monitoring. So what I was about to say was I was right, but this is not about being right. The fact of the matter is there is directed light, which is confirmation of what I have already asserted. Okay, so in this regard, okay, yes, I was right. But even so, absent the pattern of conduct documentation, that officer of the Los Angeles Police Department, he had no facts. He had no articulable facts to substantiate his allegation. There is no way from where he was, the position he had, that he would have or should have known that I did not have on a seatbelt before I encountered him. Because when he encountered me, I had one on, and he was not capable of seeing. It is improbable, in other words, highly improbable, if not impossible, for him to see through my limo tent windows and through the back seat while he's on the passenger side in an alley on a motorcycle with dark sunglasses on, and I'm on the driver's side where you cannot see, and I had my seatbelt on by the time he is encountering me. But I had already known that this is suspect because law enforcement is everywhere that I'm at, including right now. Right? That's the Demons of Ontario Police. They're going to federal prison. And I had already become aware of what was very peculiar conduct with regard to stalking. All right. Now I went to a different region. I went to West Hills. I went to Los Angeles County, somewhere I haven't lived there before. I had not gone to that area to specifically go and work there, which is what I did. I moved out of my apartment from Upland. Okay, I'm surrounded by a psychopath who is a threat to my life. That is Tracy Banks. I moved out of my apartment. All right, and I stopped going to work at the law firms in downtown Los Angeles, where I was doing contract law with hire cancel, compliance discovery. I'm being harassed. The employees are stalking, meaning I'm using this term now, but at the time I'm just like, I'm noticing like every time I get up to go to the restroom, or every time I get up to go on a break, go walk around outside, walk around the block or something, they're getting up and following around. All right, you're not necessarily going to say someone's following you because they get up, but I'm noticing a pattern every single time somebody is maintaining presence. There's never a moment where I am left, somewhere by myself. Somebody's always hovering in a bathroom stall and with the phone, okay, on the communication device. And someone is always following, if not immediately behind me, following eventually behind me into the restroom, if not already present in the restroom where I'm going, present in the hallway. This is called crossing the path. That's what this is. And I'm noticing these patterns as I'm in the workforce, okay? And then in addition to that, I'm being harassed. I mean, violent harassment. And not only that, and that's ultimately what it is. The harassment is what was making it intolerable, with also noticing, and it's not just in the legal field, when I was working with Mobility, which is an infrastructure firm for, imagine that, they were monitoring while they were engaging in what is telecommunications infrastructure. And I was working for this, not using my bar license in order to do so. This was not practicing law, but it was a credential. It helps to get the job. But understand, they were targeting me with regard to attracting me to that position in order to engage in monitoring me there and harassing me there. All right. And you have what is very heavy duty stalking. Literally, they were following me while I was at Mobility, and this is in Orange County, Costa Mesa, California. All of this is relevant to documentation that I have written out. And this is when this threat becomes very poignant, okay? And law enforcement is following where I go, everywhere that I'm at, in other words, okay? The entity of the false premise of stalking is that, if you're somewhere before me, then you're not stalking. No, the government is monitoring. The government's a stalker, and the government is maintaining ubiquitous presence also at any location where you are en route toward, or where it also knows where you have gone before, okay, or are likely to go. The government is everywhere. You're stalking because you are maintaining omnipresence. Okay, so like I said, you have what is the law enforcement following everywhere that I'm going, and it really became more pronounced October 16, 2018, and it was so pronounced that this is when I resigned, because I had gone to understand what's happening as far as the sequence goes. I'm in Upland, California, and I am noticing strangers following me around. I'm being harassed at work, all right? In two different industries, property management and in the legal field as an attorney. And you have what is also weird following me around where I go, all right, which I was not really focusing on that. I noticed it. It was in the back of my mind, all right? It was a mental note. But what was really catching my attention was the harassment. And then you have what is I wasn't referring to it as an idiot. I'm reporting this harassment, and these jobs where I'm working, they're not doing anything about it. All right. And so they are engaging in the P.O.C. of harassment. That's exactly what I'm showing you under the fake sun, while these demons are cussing at me and calling me stupid. How do they even know what my mental capabilities are, what my intellectual quotient would be? They're using very specific terms. In other words, you are witnessing what is a demonic entity vocalizing the same sentiments, the same hostile sentiments. You hear it out of Tracy Banks, you hear it out of a white-faced demon, both of them under the fake sun, okay? It's demonic activity, and it's harassment. This is characterizing the state system. This is what I'm subject to, this harassment in the legal field and in property management, and the employers that I was working for, where I'm reporting it, where I'm maintaining my professionalism, doing all that I can do. This is referred to as what is corporate bullying, and I'm sorry, I've worked too long, I've paid too many dues to be subject to that while I'm practicing law. Okay, so now I was not going to put up with that, and you have a constitutional right to not be subject to the government harassing you on the job. And to be clear, if there's any question, there is no question with regard to this, because I also documented, now aware of the pattern of conduct, when I went back into property management at Country Village in Riverside County, where the state followed with a fake sun, stalking by helicopter, commercial airline planes over that job site where I was at, following from Economy Inn with the fake sun back to Country Village, while I remained there, being molested with what is impossible light activity, directed light, stalking in the bathroom, monitoring in the bathroom. All of this is the pattern of conduct that I'm aware of. This is what I was subject to on the job on the job front. So you are talking about what is the same pattern of conduct. Beforehand, though, I was not aware that I was being monitored. I was aware of what was very violent harassment that nobody was taking any responsibility for, and I was being blamed for it, okay? So you have what is doing my job and being subject to harassment by these same demons who I'm documenting in the work field, now aware of the pattern of conduct. That's the significance of that documentation in March of 2021, okay? Country Village. So anyway, it's currently 7:39 p.m. and I say all this to say is that my documentation that I have, that I continue to publish, has more context now as you are understanding more and more what the entity is doing. So you see the template, you see the pattern of conduct. Like I said, I have already shown this. I've already established this. I have already published this. So this is calling for what I will do, which is reiterate my documentation of law enforcement where I'm in Orange County, okay, while I am in Los Angeles County, while I am subject to all of the pattern of conduct, which I am becoming aware of the more that I document. So while I am documenting law enforcement in Orange County and in Los Angeles County, the state was keeping a fake sun over me. The state was stalking by commercial airline planes and helicopter. All right. All of this step by step I became more aware of as I continued to document it. But you can see from my video documentation, even though I wasn't aware of it on May 23rd, 2018, the state was stalking by helicopter. The state was stalking with the fake sun. Okay. Even though I was not aware of it on October 16th, 2018, the state was stalking with directed light when I'm in Los Angeles County, while they are engaging in the exercise of fictitious authority while they are monitoring me. That's what the Los Angeles Police Department were doing. Okay, that's what I'm capturing, while directed light is all over the walls. All over the walls in downtown LA, and you can see it all over the asphalt. It's directed light all over. It's not spray paint. It's not paint on the walls and on the ground. That is directed light. And you can see in my video where it's moving around as I'm taking different picture frames. As I pause the video, in other words, and I resume the video, you can see the directed light moving around. And this is what you are aware of the more that you're documenting. All of this I became more aware of the more that I documented it, okay? And so this is what the entity has been doing for years. So this is the documentation, in other words, that I have already published, and I will be engaging in what is reiterating that which I have already published, speaking to what is the totality of that documentation, specifically with regard to law enforcement, because that's where the pattern of conduct began. That's where that threat began. Okay, realizing that law enforcement, when I'm in Los Angeles County, is engaging in the same stalking conduct, being everywhere that I'm at, and also now the Los Angeles Police Department, by virtue of that illegal stop while the pattern of conduct was underway. All right, but what's my mindset then? I am aware of not only law enforcement engaging in being everywhere that I'm at, this ubiquitous presence. Now they are communicating to me by virtue of that stop that I documented on video. They know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, now this is what I'm aware of because I'm observing the conduct of those around me. And I find it to not be a coincidence at that time that the Los Angeles Police Department accused me of not wearing a seatbelt, when under the facts available to him, humanly possible, it is improbable that he was able to see that with his own eyes. In addition to the fact that the law enforcement are engaging in a pattern of stalking as I was documenting it. Okay, so this is what is telling me that this is a very potent threat, and it was terrorizing to me, and that's exactly why I quit the next day, working with the law offices of Michael Bialis, where I'm going to these courtrooms, and the police are at the courtrooms everywhere that I'm going every day. I'm going all over Southern California. Okay, I'm going to all kinds of courtrooms everywhere, and I still have that documentation as well. I maintained well, you can refer to it as my daily journal with regard to the courts that I was going to, where the pattern of conduct is underway. These are for state facilitating venues. They were monitoring me, and law enforcement were stalking while I was working with the law offices of Michael Bialis. Okay, and that's a terrorizing threat by law enforcement, who are, by virtue of that stop, communicating a terrorizing threat, demonstrating knowledge of what I am doing inside of the car, where I know under the facts available to them that it was not humanly possible that he knew that. Okay, and this is what is accelerating my documentation of the entity. Okay, this is written documentation that the entity, again, it's called the List of Police Encounters, dated November 16, 2018 to October 4, 2019. I am going to convert it and publish it and reiterate this documentation that is already available because
my documentation is becoming more and more understood with regard to what I am revealing about the entity, what it's doing. And let me be clear, law enforcement in Orange County, law enforcement in Los Angeles County, law enforcement in San Bernardino County, this is a state system. And I did document it in all of those aforesaid areas, all right, where the state was keeping a fake sun over me, stalking with directed light, and stalking with the people, all right, while I was documenting law enforcement engaging in the pattern of conduct as I was writing down their license plates, observing what they were doing. I documented it already. It's already published, all right? All right, it is currently 7:44 p.m. That's Union Pacific, creating audible activity. Ontario Police crossing path while they're listening to me speak about the documentation that is speaking to what is going to be them going to federal prison. So they're crossing path in directed light while they're listening to me talk about the list of police encounters. It's currently 7:45 p.m. That is P.O.C. at BNG Plaza.